I heard you lot singing on the way in. Some gospel trap.
They don't know dedication and hard work. Firm is pain when your art hurts. I went extreme lengths for the souls, don't tell me about risk. These Christians ain't on nothing, these Christians ain't on piss. Yo, Trapmash. Man, I chat all for the souls, yeah, I'm that lad. Wheels out there on the own, channeling souls. Anything
So I don't know anything about this. I've seen the video pop up. I see man holding the Bible like it's a gun, and it's kind of like a big wave now. I think they're from SPAC Nation or something. What's the name of the group?
From who nation?
SPAC Nation.
What's that?
That's a church.
It's a church.
Right.
It's a controversial church.
It's a drill church.
A drill church.
Yeah. So
are you sure, or is it just a church that plays drill music?
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. That way. So it's a prosperity church where people go there, and people, pray to God.
Sorry to interrupt you because this is important. Are you sure that that's what it's a prosperity church? Have you studied about the church at all?
The man said on a video to somebody that was dissing the church, "How can you talk to me when your parents don't even have £5,000 in their bank account?" That's the pastor that said that.
Yeah,
that is the pastor. He's a prosperity church, man.
Gaza. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats, dogs, rodents, and other small insects, welcome to episode 96, season 2 of the Eloquently Saying Nothing podcast. You are in tune with your host, I, Simple Simon. Gaza. To my right, we have the right honourable gentleman by the name of...
This is me this time, because last time I got it wrong. At Big Wahala. I'm on the right, yeah?
Yes, you are.
At Big Wahala. What's good, people? I like the way you didn't even allow cats to be plural in any way, shape, or form, boy. Cat and dogs.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying.
One pum pum, one man to the pum pum.
Where?
Carry on then.
Yeah, and to his right, we have the right honourable gentleman by the name of...
Mr. Wolf. Do I say it? Or
You got to
say
introduce yourself, bruh.
Okay, well, if fear of poverty makes us live dishonestly, dishonest living will keep us entrenched in poverty as well. Honesty pays, dishonesty can be costly at the end. I lie? The truth?
I like what you did there.
I wasn't paying attention, to be honest with you. I'm checking this out, and I think he's right, actually, with what he's saying.
Regarding what?
Because you're talking so low and so close, it's distorted.
Oh, what I said was right. Oh, okay. I told him that already, but it's not.
So, social?
AKA Mr. Wolf on the Insta, AKA _ Mr. Wolf on the Twitter.
Sounds a lot clearer now, bro.
And
Am I better?
Yeah.
Shall I read it out again?
No.
That's a wicked proverb.
I hear you.
It's a Yoruba proverb.
We'll get back to that. Anyway, on my left, the right honourable gentleman by the name of...
Stavros Boss in the house. What's up? At Stavros Boss everywhere.
I'm going to mess up all of our socials now, but it is, if you want to get hold of us, it is esnpodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to catch us on the socials, it's ESN Podcast on Twitter, ESN Podcast on Instagram. Those are the handles. You'll be able to catch all of us. I, myself, at Simple Simon FB on Twitter if you want to holler, if you want to get true. Also, I didn't do my intro.
You didn't do all the socials either, but keep
I
going.
didn't do all the socials either.
It's poor, but
I'm
going.
winging it, man.
You're trying.
You just told me just now, innit?
You're trying to
I'm winging it.
Hashtag ESN Pod.
Yeah, hashtag
That's
ESN
right.
Pod.
Hashtag
Join the conversation.
Yes, Facebook /ESN Podcast.
Yeah, do that.
And it's at ESN Podcast as well. Just because people might not know the app.
Yeah, for real.
That's right. It's clear.
No, yeah, you're good. You're good.
I would have picked up you over them petty things there.
I'm petty, man.
So you're saying that my man's 50 Cent? Yeah.
I'm petty like a bitch. Keep going anyway. King Petty.
Let's get into it, gentlemen.
You said you had your own intro, bro.
Nah, man. Nah, it's messed up, man.
Why is it messed up?
Because the flow is wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Because you haven't had enough time now to get to you to be into the ready.
You know, like that.
When you start off, it's a bit different. Isn't
It's
it?
a bit
That's what I'm
different,
saying.
bro.
So over on my right, we have Stavros the boss. On my left, we have Wahala, Big Wahala, and right opposite me, we have Simple Simon.
Nah, it's not
baby.
gonna work, bro.
Come on, bro.
I know you tried to give me the
Come on,
alley.
bro.
You tried to give me the alley oop there, but it's not gonna work, bro.
That
Seriously.
alley-oop was a good one.
It was a
still.
good one, but nah, bro. You know,
LeBron James alley-oop, bro.
the yardie in me just didn't want to come to the surface today as well.
Damn.
It's mad. It's
They
covered.
want the yard though. They want the yard.
I hear that, but I don't know, man.
Hey, yardie them want.
Who's the lady that was
Wanted
talking about
and
me
wanted.
during the week?
Talking about you during the week.
Listen, I don't think they want their name out there, so just
Okay,
listen.
a listener, as well as our lovely listener who doesn't mind being mentioned, Delali.
Yeah.
We like that crew. Mr. Wolf doesn't speak loud enough.
That's right.
How about now? God damn it.
Yeah, but what's gonna happen is you're
Is
gonna make
that
a
I'm
point.
gonna go
Yeah.
down and
You're gonna
I'm
make
just
a point and then you
go
get into
like
sexy voice
this.
mode.
The quiet storm.
Like you're trying to talk someone's
Mr.
knickers
Wolf.
off.
Your mouth shouldn't be touching the phone.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
It shouldn't be touching the phone.
No.
Boy, sometimes it has to touch the phone.
Man's not serious at all. Anyway, for real, let's get into the ultra pettiness. I want to start at 50 Cent. Let's.
How about a week, man? What's going
I
on?
don't care about your week, bro.
Neither do I, to be honest with you.
Wow.
Well, hello, you look like something happened to you though. Well gone.
I've been told I talk too much and
Oh,
dominate the conversation. So I'm waiting for my turn to speak.
so
Petty.
All right, we can discuss that then. Now, last week I wasn't here. I think that's the first one I missed in 8 years and
Yeah, it's
over 200
Literally
and-
the first one.
I'm not sure, over 200 episodes anyways. That's for damn
The
sure.
option was to record at 2 a.m. and nobody said yes.
So anyways, I missed it. And so what you had was the first time ESN was completely done without me. And the feedback was it was a very smooth, and it was shorter than usual as well, or shorter than it has been this season anyways. Last season it was about that length, but this season it's been 2 hours plus all the time. So this was like a quick 1 hour 48, something like that.
Yeah.
It was
That should be,
slim
damn it.
and trim and
And lean.
Yeah, lean, and it was a conversation. And I listened to it, so let me tell you, man, what it's like. So let me get to the feedback. The feedback was it was a good, clean conversation. I enjoyed the conversation. That conversation was nice. Wicked conversation. The word conversation kept coming up. Conversation, yeah, conversation is very important. So I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, man, the podcast was there. I don't think it was as funny as it was, and I'm thinking, which is strange because I'm not the funny person. So why is it not funny? Because it shouldn't make a difference if I'm not in it for being funny. If it's gonna lose something, it wouldn't be that.
No,
But-
you can't talk. Shut up there. This is what Wahala put his hand up.
It wouldn't be that. So anyways, I'm listening. So I'm there studying the thing. I'm properly studying it. I hear Mr. Wolf sounds crackly in the pre-edit. And I said, yeah, I know, your man had to turn him up. He must have turned him up too loud. But then when he did the edit and he did it crisp, I'm like, yeah, well done. He did a good job. So I'm like, what's going on? And I realized, oh, okay. They had a conversation without shouting over each other. And they actually conversed, went backwards and forwards. And I said, why is that? So I said, okay, because Big Wahala was hosting. And whilst Big Wahala was hosting, he was focused on hosting, doing his job as the host. And whilst you're hosting, you are more cognizant about letting people talk, letting people get their point.
Yeah, but.
So basically, on top of that, instead of bashing all the jokes, because the jokes will usually come when you're chopping people off, he knows that I got to let this person talk, then let this person talk, then move on to the next thing and do that. It's not that he can't bust a joke, it's that he's just making sure that things go the way they should be going.
He's bursting to come in
Yes,
the
he
conversation
is.
now.
Yes, he is. Yes, you are busted.
No, when you're ready to finish, I'll talk.
So in essence, I brought that up, and I said because Wahala was like, he was sending all the look all the good feedback we got, and I said, yeah, I think this is the reason why, and I just told him what I just told you guys listening, and he said, oh, I said, yeah. So again, this is not the first time we've mentioned that Big Wahala cuts people off, talks over people, and I don't know. He said, well, I'll try not to talk so much anymore. And Mr. Wolfram says, no, it's not about how much you talk. It's just let people finish talking first. That's the issue. And he said, what? Go on.
The wording that was used is that Wahala dominates the conversation.
I didn't use that word.
Well, that was the wording that was used. So I dominate the conversation,
which is fine.
I cut people up, and I forgot what else I was said anyway.
I don't think there's an and.
I don't think there was another word thing that somebody that you said, but I just can't remember what it was. Another way that you put it. But so I just said to myself, okay, fine. I wouldn't want to be in a conversation with somebody if they're constantly dominating the conversation and they're constantly cutting me up. Even though I do think that Mr. Wolf cuts up people much more than I do. And last week, when I was supposed to be concentrating, as you did say, I observed the fact that whenever Simple wanted to say something, Mr. Wolf would blatantly say to him, wait a minute, put a pin in it, pause.
Let me
blah,
finish.
Blah, blah.
Wait a minute.
So,
Let me finish.
So, so I thought, you know what, if that's how I am in a conversation, I would prefer to just say less and not cut people up, which was apparently I'm being sensitive by saying that. I don't think I am. I just think I'm saying if I was in a conversation and people thought I was dominating the conversation when they're talking, then I don't want to be that person that's dominating the conversation. So let me just hold back. One thing I will say though is that I didn't find that I had to concentrate that much when I was doing the hosting.
I think it's subconscious.
But for me, it was simple. You just look at the piece of paper, you go on to the next thing, you segue in, you segue out.
But what did I say?
Yeah, I don't think you don't normally do that.
I don't think I do.
Yeah,
I
but
do.
you don't have to do it.
No, but there's times when I'm trying to segue, but because I would have to cut somebody up to do it, I don't do it. So that's why I don't do it. There's times when he says something and I think we can go into this next topic, and I don't do it because I'm not the person that's hosting.
Did I say you focused that much?
You said I was concentrating, so I wasn't funny, and I don't think that was the case. I just don't think that there was anything funny to have a conversation about.
You haven't answered my question.
Because
you said I was focused so much I wasn't doing such and such.
Sorry, you said I was concentrating. You never said I was concentrating so much.
So that's the point.
But you said I was concentrating. That's why something else didn't happen.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that if I was concentrating so much concentrating enough for something to happen, I would assume I was concentrating quite hard.
No,
that's for me.
No,
I would think,
no,
anyway.
no.
Okay, sorry.
Because
I'm wrong then.
I'm of the belief you cannot do two things at once to maximum capacity. That's my belief. Would any of you disagree with that?
Can't you stroke and suck a nipple well at the same time?
If you were doing one or the other solely, it would be at a higher capacity if you're putting in your all. You can put in your all with sucking a nipple, and it's maybe the best you can do is 95. And you can what's stroking? Maybe the best you could do is 95 with that as well. Solely. But if you're doing them both at the same time, you cannot do them both at 95%.
Simple?
It's simple as that.
Well, there was one time I was driving down the motorway receiving fellatio at the same time.
Fellatio.
And
receiving is the word. You weren't doing anything.
You have to keep control.
Yeah, and I was driving at about $1.10, so I was concentrating on the road and not really paying attention to the fellatio for real. So yeah, I think you can't do the two of them at 95%.
Or whatever your full capacity would be. Normally, you cannot do them both full capacity at thingy. So what I'm saying is,
I'm random, you know. Why did I throw that story in there?
No, because it's applicable.
Okay, fair enough.
It's applicable.
I just think that last week there was just nothing that I thought was funny, and I don't think I'm the funny one on the podcast. I still think that you're the funny one on the podcast. I've said that for years. But anyway,
I cannot say. All right, listeners, hashtag ESN pod. Who's the funny one on the podcast, please? Let us know, because obviously inside we're in a little bubble here and we have our own views. But you're the listeners. You're the one that's been listening for years. You tell us who you think is the funny one, and who you think is the one that overlaps, and who you think is the quiet one, and who you think is...
Oh, they know that already, man. Allow me, man. I got to raise my voice now, goddamn.
And who's the one that appeals to the bashment people, to the yardies?
No, listen. It's not me.
It's you, man.
It's a saying.
Anyway, let me really push.
You know, like that. But anyway, we started off on petty terms. So let's continue on petty terms. So apparently, our friend Curtis Jackson, aka 50 Cent, bought 200 front row tickets via Groupon to a Ja Rule concert just so that there would be no one in the front row. Before I get into it, did any of us fact check this? Because we saw it on a meme.
No, it's not been fact checked.
Okay, cool. So,
but it's been on numerous news sites. Like the one I sent wasn't like it wasn't, you know, it was Newsweek.
Oh, fair enough.
So,
okay,
yeah, a proper thing.
So,
but maybe they just saw the meme as well. Who knows?
Ultimate pettiness. But what I wanted to ask you, man, is have you ever been petty in your life? So, what is the pettiest thing you've done?
Petty.
And why?
I think we've had this discussion already, and I don't know the answer, if I'm going to be honest.
So you've done many petty things that you can't even nail down.
I don't think I'm that petty.
But you must have done at least one petty thing in your life.
Probably, but nothing that bad that I can go out of my way to remember it.
Fair Fair enough.
But just when you're finished with this anyway, I want to go back to the actual 50% thing.
Okay, go on.
Stavros is petty. I cannot remember off the top of my head now
I know one of the pettiest things you've ever done.
Go on then.
Sorry, I won't cut you up.
You really have, but go on.
Go on.
That thing that you did with that girl is one of the most petty things I've ever heard of in my life.
What did I do?
You know what you did?
I can't remember what you're talking about. Oh yeah. Tell us.
No, I can't tell your story. That's your story. I dominate the conversation.
Yeah,
So
but
you tell your story.
I can't even
Fucking
remember I just remember the end bit. I don't even remember why I did it.
I think because you went out on a date with them and they I forgot the reason why, but you went on a date with the girl originally. Oh, she didn't.
I don't think I went on a date with somebody.
I'm sure you went out with the girl and she was rude to you or something.
Nah, I need to hear.
Oh,
this
maybe
now.
you went out with her and a friend and she was rude to you at the.
Yeah, I didn't go out with this person. So I
No,
know
as I said, her and a friend. So maybe she was with you at some point, or maybe she called her or something. No, because you had to call that person to come and meet you there because you was out with her somewhere.
Yeah, okay.
So
right.
she was her and a friend somewhere. This is ultra pet. It's actually very disgusting what you did. But anyway,
No, go
All
on,
right.
go on.
But
I want to hear this.
In the Me Too era, boy, this will be peak. So I can't remember, but I wasn't like on a date or nothing with this girl. But I was out with a bunch of people, and there was one girl who was just rude, very very rude to me. Yeah, rude. I didn't appreciate it. So what I did,
I think I see where this
I'll
is
make the
going.
story very short.
Because I've heard the word. That's why. Go on. The nickname for our
Very
boy.
rude. Now this person you could tell was less like one shallow person. So I thought, let me get somebody that will come, enjoy this shallow person, and then kick her to the side and tell her that they were kicked to the side because Stavros sent them in your direction.
Oh my god.
So that's what happened. But it wasn't just that night. They did something, man. It wasn't just they were rude to me that night. There was something. It was an ongoing thing.
Okay, this person, yeah. What you're saying is that you called them for them to come to your group,
Yes.
this thing,
Yes.
and for them to just serenade this person.
Okay.
Was the intention for the person to bang the girl, or
But the message would have been, bruv, I got someone here. I want you to bang her and then like and what drop her or whatever. I don't know. Something along those lines.
did they bang?
He did the job
Oh,
well.
see, because initially
Standard-
when you told the
standard
story, it's like they came, spoke to the girl, and then kicked her to the curb.
No. She got banged and
Oh,
then told to get out like Janet Jackson in a bloody
Did they say get out because
In-
you
in-
dissed my boy?
in your.
Or-
I
or-
can't recall if they've passed the information on.
but the girl found out though.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
well then-
for real?
Yeah, because you remember the girl phoned you, or the friend phoned you.
I can't remember. I don't even know who
Come
it
on,
is.
tell
Okay.
the story,
I don't
bruv.
remember who
You
it
can
is.
remember
For what I
better than
remember,
anybody.
This is what I'm saying.
Is that
You said the story.
The friend phoned Stav after and said, no, Stav phoned the friend and was chatting to them. They were like, why are you calling my phone? And he's like, why? What's wrong? After what you did to my friend. And he's like, what? Nah, you can't just do that to my brethren and then phone me. That's what I remember you saying that happened anyway.
Maybe that was somebody else.
Right, you've done it before.
No, it was a different situation.
No, that was the same situation from
Maybe.
what I remember.
I still can't remember which girl this is.
I don't know the girl anyway. So,
But the friend and you know.
I don't know if I know I think I know the friend, but I don't know if I know the friend. But I know you did this thing, and I know that this is probably one of the most disgusting things you've done that I know of.
That's legendary. Mouth the name. No. But anyways,
Mouth the name.
no, because I'm still cool with her. I'm still cool with her. I ain't done nothing to her.
Yeah, but it's definitely somebody that anyway, it was, I think it was,
Fun,
I don't know
man.
where I think it might have been the times when you lot was working together still. But it was a long time ago, and it was literally one of the most disgusting things that Stav has done that I remember and I can recall.
That's a bastard move for real.
Yeah, I'm a bastard.
So that's petty.
And I'm not ashamed of it.
That's very petty.
No, I'm not even ashamed of it.
Because
I'm
she
telling you, I'm
was
telling
she
you.
that bad?
Huh?
She was that bad to you?
He just didn't like it. He got smarted on it. That's all.
Fair enough.
Nah, man. You know when you're humble and then people want to take your humbleness for like try and take it for idiot.
I think she did try and take it for a fool, but I can't remember exactly what it was though.
It's just like, come on, man.
Well, you got her back, bruv. But anyway, Mr. Wolf, I can't think of anything petty. One time.
You haven't done nothing petty.
To my knowledge and my memory bank, I can't remember. I must have done something back in the day, but I can't remember.
Well, has Simple Simon done anything petty that you know about?
Bruv, you petty every Tuesday, bruv.
I used to. That was cock blocking, but that was That was like Scatterfire. I don't remember anyone specifically.
Scatterfire, you know.
There was
Just
no
shrapnel.
Yeah, there was no malice in that. I was just bare ricochet on that one. I just did it.
You've
for the
done
fun
petty
of it.
things before.
Like what? Like what?
You've done petty things before, but I don't know if they're petty. If they can be described as petty or just.
Why do you remember everybody else's petty and not your own?
Because I don't really have. I didn't have the. How can I put it? I didn't have the space to do petty things. I just get angry in it. I don't have the time for petty.
Hulk smash.
I believe in revenge. Stavros believes in revenge, like hardcore.
Sounded like it was a religion.
Yeah, hardcore. So
What religious denomination are you? Revenge.
So when it comes to revenge, I believe wholeheartedly in revenge. This is why I go out my way not to try and cross people or do nothing to people, because then when
they're gonna come back for you.
No, I don't think you're gonna come back for me. But when you do, then what can I say? It's like I started something. I believe when somebody starts something, somebody else might finish it. And what can you say? Then it's like, if I push you and you decide to punch me in my face, what can I say? I pushed you.
Do you believe in karma?
Sometimes,
So-
I guess so. Not, I don't put my life on it, but if something happens, then I can say, yeah, that seemed like some karma.
So-
Which is why I believe I'm living good right now.
Okay, but you would then rely on revenge more than you would karma.
The karma could be the revenge, though.
It could be, but I think when he's talking about revenge, he's talking about him holding revenge in his heart and then dealing with the case.
As I've got older,
Heart.
what I've learned is to keep away from people that might bring that side out of me. So I don't really get into situations where I'm around people or dealing with people that make me want to have revenge. It hasn't happened in I can't remember the last time.
A bit like when we were talking about last week, innit? Which I still need to remind me about which people Stav don't talk to no more. I can't remember who they are.
Yeah, man. Because I was listening to that. I was like, I don't know. There were 3 different people apparently, and I was thinking maybe I know one of them.
So you don't think you're petty?
I'm not saying I don't think I'm petty. I'm saying I don't remember it.
Bro, you did a petty thing just the other day. I'm sure you was talking about something you did with the washing that you did left behind because you was petty about something. Bro, you do petty things all the time to the point where it's normality to you.
That's what I'm saying. I don't even.
But there's stuff that you've done that's petty. There's stuff that you've done to girls that's petty as well.
Like what?
I remember there was one girl that you.
This guy could be. I knew it would have to be something to do with a girl back in the day.
I remember this one time.
That there was a girl that he was saying that he weren't really. They were seeing, but they were open to seeing others. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, I think that one actually, just to call your bluff, must have went on, like, even a date or something. So then simple this way. For me, you was doing instinctively. Not necessarily that you was doing it on purpose, but you was doing it. He just went ultra petty. So then he was just like, moving to girls in front of the girl. This girl would be in the same room with him, go chat to the girl, we'd be chatting to all the other girls around.
Rah.
Yeah, you was doing petty behaviors. I even said you was disgusting at the time. You know which girl I'm talking about as well. Yes.
Do I know her sister?
Yes.
Okay.
You did some petty behaviors to that one.
Did you move to the sister?
No, I'm not. That's terrible. That's horrible. I'm not that kind of guy.
Do I know who it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've done petty behaviors, man. You've done a lot of petty. Mr. Wolf's done petty as well, but I just can't remember what the petty is.
Mr. Wolf, you know what makes you lucky? Because you're my spa, not his. Because if you were his spa and you two had
He
come up
would
together,
remember.
he'd have something on
Do
you.
you remember
I know he's done something petty.
when you
I'm
got
trying to think,
petty?
man.
If you've lived with a woman, it's most likely you've done something petty.
Why? Well, I don't do nothing petty with my woman.
I'm almost certain that you being there is petty enough.
He's saying that with a straight face.
Yeah, because you can't be in a relationship and
Yeah, but
be
you live
petty
with a
like
woman.
That's what I'm saying. I've probably done something that's petty, but I can't think of anything. The thing I might have done is left, like if she's left something somewhere, I've left it there so that she can come back and see it and then be walking around it, doing everything around it, just so I can present it to her later to say this is what you've done. That might be my level of petty, but I don't actually do like proper petty things.
Like 50 Cent.
But
That's what we're talking
Coming
about.
back to that, go on. What was you gonna say?
What, the 50 Cent song?
Yeah.
The thing that I think is so brilliant about the 50 Cent thing, yeah, is that it's not even the fact that 50 Cent bought the 200 tickets. It's the fact that Ja Rule is actually
on
selling
Groupon,
tickets.
isn't it?
He's on Groupon. That's what I was thinking. That's the same thing. That's kicking him out while he's down, you know. That's kicking him out while he's down. When man is trying to sell tickets on Groupon, you know, and you're out there buying the tickets from Groupon, man, he won't buy them full price.
I know.
He bought them at discount
I
to make
know.
sure that everybody knows that he has to then buy it on discount, present it to people that your whole show is empty. Either way, Ja Rule's still getting the money, so I suppose he doesn't care.
But it's
how
deep.
can you buy tickets? How can you be selling your concert tickets on Groupon? Is that how bad it's got for Ja Rule now?
Definitely.
Whatever be without my baby.
Definitely. Him and I think the same thing happened to Ashanti. Ashanti had to cancel a couple of shows.
No, Ashanti shows, I think there was something to do with her coming on late or something. Like the shows was, I don't think there was a reason why her shows got cancelled. I don't think it was to do with her. Can we just say Ashanti for her age is still looking very,
Ashanti
very,
looks
very, very good.
She look better now than she did before.
Them sideburns is done well, bro.
But I'm saying though, Ja Rule's gonna have a problem always because he hasn't connected with the next generation of audience. So the people that will go to a Ja Rule concert,
the old school guys.
The old school
remember
people,
how
very much
50
so.
Cent beat him down.
yeah.
You
So
know, that's very important. What you just said.
There is
It's,
no
well,
connection.
it's the same thing with the old school R&B acts as well. Your Jodeci's and them people there. It's the old school crowd, isn't it? But the problem with Ja Rule is that he was big, and then 50 Cent beat him down.
Yeah,
Beat
but
down's a beat down's a beat down.
going back off what Simple just said, and what Stav was hoping Simo was going to expand on, the fact that he has no audience still in 2018, like there's no, I don't remember a new Ja Rule song. There might be ones out there, but I don't
There
know
ain't
of
one.
it. He's probably doing business in other things. Obviously, we know he had the whatever it is,
oh yeah, the Fire
Festival, whatever it was that he had. That
Oh
were,
my
again,
God.
50 Cent might have had a hand in. We never know. But
What was that?
that's when you remember when he had that concert that was so bad that it was like a festival and it was the most terrible festival and people were just online cussing it, saying that they was offering them bread and butter for meals and stuff like that.
I never
think
heard
it
of
was-
that.
And it got all the people that was meant to be there didn't come or turn up.
Oh,
it was
so-
mad.
Yeah, the guests were paying up to $10,000 for tickets, and they were supposed to have like special tents and
Yeah,
all that.
yeah.
And it turned out to just be like what's he call it, a refugee camp? Or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
something
It was-
like that.
It was mad.
Yeah. So I don't think Ja Rule's doing. I heard him on the Drink Chats podcast not long ago. He seemed like he was happy in life, but if he wants to be doing anything now in the 2018, I don't think people even know who Ja Rule actually is.
Mm.
Yeah, that was the important thing I was stuck on. You mentioned that you wouldn't necessarily know if he released any songs, but I wouldn't know if 50 Cent released any songs either.
I would
But-
know about 50 Cent.
People would
I-
know,
I don't.
bro.
I don't.
You won't be interested, but people would know.
Okay, so he released a song in the last 3 weeks. Do any of you know about it?
Yeah, the one with
Okay, yes, it's simple. Do the other two of you know about it?
I didn't know.
I heard something that I thought was new, but I didn't know whether it
But I
was.
can
Exactly.
guarantee you
Exactly.
tens of millions of people did.
I heard it anyway.
Go on YouTube. I don't think it's tens of million people. And the artist that was on it,
He would have put it
got
on
massive
his
following.
Insta, right?
The artist who was on it is bigger than him now. But
Yeah,
anyways,
when he calls his son.
the point is that.
Who?
But,
6ix9ine, isn't it?
But why can't you just tell him if he doesn't know? 6ix9ine.
yeah, but I was talking. Then you overlapped. Then he overlapped.
I hate that guy. But anyway, go
Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
on. Oh
saying.
yeah, dog, Jerry. Fucking doing a song of a piece of shit, man. Good. I'm glad it didn't go well. Anyway, carry on. Old age.
Yeah, yes, it's old age, and
This is what the conversation does.
yes, this is about the conversation because I'm losing track of it. Come on.
So that's cancellations.
Well, listen, I'm happy they didn't do well. I fucking hate that 6ix9ine guy. And if 50 Cent is doing tracks with him, then good.
But him and 6ix9ine are like together now, so they do lots of videos
Fuck
together.
them, man.
But you have to remember, 6ix9ine is literally his son.
I remember that.
Why?
Because he's doing what 50 Cent originated with.
Yeah,
The
but
trolling
50
is-
Cent was real,
50
man.
Cent
It's
was
like-
king of the trolls, and he was the original troll.
He's just a wannabe, man. I hate them people there that are just plagiarizing and you know, taking our shit and making money from it, man.
You know what they're doing with
Fun
him
that.
at the moment, though? You know that he was on that court case, and he was about basically he had, I think, a underage girl in his video, and he was they then said that he had sex with the underage girl later.
Yeah.
So apparently
6ix9ine.
Yeah, 6ix9ine. So he's been going through a court case about it, and apparently the district attorney is now pushing for the full like amount of years that they can get him into jail. Like they're pushing for it because I think he was out on bail, and because he was out on bail, he had to be. I think the reasons for him to be able to come out, he had to be an upstanding citizen.
Yeah.
And then he's been caught with all of this madness in it. So he's got caught with a gun charge the other day. Remember there was all that stuff to do with him maybe being involved with that Chief Keef shooting. There was a couple other things that 6ix9ine's been doing that keeps going to court for. So they were saying that he's not been an upstanding citizen, so they need to send him back to jail. So they're looking to send him back for 3 years. Potentially this could happen. I don't know, man. But if he does, I'll say good because obviously his behavior warrants jail. But I don't know.
Oh my God, that's like was that when they call it a mad switch? Because he'll go in and then Schmurder just comes out.
Shmurda, how long did Shmurda get? I swear he got like 28 years or some madness like that.
I know he got a madness, but they've been campaigning to get him out, man.
What Shmurda needs to stay in prison. Listen, I don't understand why blacks always campaigning for people that's done shit.
Why is he in jail?
For murder. If I remember rightly.
Murder.
Like a few murders and like a racketeering thing it was.
Well, he took a life in it.
I don't know if he actually did murder himself, but he was involved with the gangs that were doing the murder, whatever. But if you done the shit, then let him go and stay in prison. I'm sick of all these free them, leave them there. I beg.
If I remember correctly, I think he got done on one of these things where if one person commits a crime and
Joint enterprise.
Yeah, racketeering. That's what I'm saying.
That's different.
Okay, sorry, but I thought that was a RICO case. I thought that's when they linked them all together.
Yeah, RICO, joint enterprise, but racketeering is an actual crime.
Sorry, wrong one then.
What do you guys think about that?
I've never liked joint enterprise. I understand the purpose of it.
Oh, sorry, could you explain for people that don't know as well?
All right, so joint enterprise is this. Right now, Mr. Wolf, Stav, and Big Wahala are all in a room. Simple Simon goes and smacks somebody over the head. None of the other guys stops him from smacking the other person over the head, nor tells the other person that they're going to get smacked over the head. We all get charged basically smacking the person over the head, even though I'm the only one that did it.
So you will get 30, we'll get 25.
Something like that.
No, I think you get the same. Yes,
you might get the same. But important thing is we didn't snitch.
Yeah, if we had then gone to the police and said to them, Simple Simon smack somebody over the head, then obviously you won't go to jail. But we decided to keep it stum, and for that, you know what? When are we gonna like as black people, because we are the worst? Yeah. When are we gonna get over this non-snitch, stop snitching rubbish? When are we gonna get past it?
What do you mean?
Like, I don't understand this stupidness.
I understand.
Like, you know what? I want to big up Mr. Exposed from what's it called, Free Shots. Yeah. Because he will always when I listen to the podcast, he fully will tell you, bruv, I'm not in that life. If you do something to me, I'll call the police. I don't understand people that are not in the life, especially if you're not involved in this gangster behavior. You're not doing any criminality. This not snitching rubbish.
I think that has all come from, excuse me, gangsters way back in the day. That this is the reason why they brought in the witness protection program. So if you do testify, then there's a chance that you could lose your life based on that. So when it came down to, modern times of today, there are some people who are scared to give evidence because that's what you will be asked to do. And your life and your family's life could be under threat as well. So I can understand why some people are fearful of telling the police. But things like if somebody is fucked up randomly and done me something, yeah, of course I'll call the police and say that you've done something. But I think it's a much bigger thing. It's not as straightforward as you think it is. Bro.
Controversially, I don't think it's actually from gangsters that it came. It actually came from legal institutions and actually the law. If you notice, lawyers don't tend to snitch on each other. Police officers don't snitch on each other. They are the ones that have the no snitch policy, and the street followed that. If I'm not mistaken,
possibly.
Because even to today, when you've got racist police officers in there, the whole police department would know that that's the racist one. Something happens to them, everybody keeps their mouth shut. Unionizing, innit?
Yeah.
So the union, the top king of the no snitching. But I just don't understand this. I'm not a fan of non snitching, man. I'm not a fan of it at all. As you can see, I snitched on Stav straight away today.
I don't know. I mean, listen.
He snitches when you don't have to.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I like to snitch.
I'd like to make a statement, please. But you wasn't there. I know. But I heard what happened.
It's in the WhatsApp group.
But yeah, I don't know. The joint enterprise cases, I can understand why people hate it. But sometimes I get it. But I don't think it's fair.
For me, like, the joint enterprise case makes too many assumptions about your situation.
Yeah.
Because it says, oh yeah, you didn't tell anybody, you didn't try to stop it, but they don't take into account that maybe the reason why you couldn't tell anyone or you couldn't stop it is because you're in fear of your own safety. You're in fear of the safety of your people's. Do you know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, that's true. But what I don't understand is we have this stop non-snitching culture, but then everybody's always posting videos of them doing crime. So what is that not snitching?
You can snitch on yourself. It's different. That's confessing.
Yeah, I've never understood it. Like, no, but if me and you go out tomorrow and you shoot somebody, but I'm filming and I post it, am I snitching on you or what?
Joint enterprise.
Fair enough. I suppose they were switching on each other then, innit?
Yeah, really? You shot him too, boy.
Did you hear about this? Sorry, this going on. I know we're rolling them.
No, keep going.
This going off. Did you hear about this AR Ab situation?
No, what?
So AR Ab is a rapper.
Yeah.
And he's going to jail at the moment for, I think, drug trafficking.
Oh, yeah.
Did you say trafficking?
That's exactly what I said.
I heard it.
That's exactly what I said.
I was gonna let it go, but
drug trafficking. But there's another term though.
No. Drug trafficking.
No,
yeah.
there's something else. There's something that's called trafficking, but I can't remember how you pronounce it. But anyway, Drug trafficking. That's what he went to prison for.
A man said there's something called trafficking, but I can't pronounce it.
Yeah, because I don't know if it's the right wording, but anyway, it's fine. Anyway, he went to jail for drug trafficking, yeah?
Yeah.
Trafficking, as I'm going to call it from that one. You could never talk about nothing genre. But anyway.
Genre.
In any genre. Go on.
Genre.
So then, so he's gone to jail, and people are saying that it's because of DJ Vlad.
Yeah.
Because he was on DJ Vlad chatting about how he was doing this and he was doing that back in the day and all this stuff. And people are always saying that DJ Vlad is like a fed.
He probably is. It makes you snitch.
Because people are always going on there chatting with their agrees and saying what they've done. And then eventually they end up having some form of case against them.
Yeah.
Remember Wiley went on there, we talk about stabbings as well at one point.
Dizzy was on there as well.
I don't know what Dizzy was saying, but I know Wiley was on there chatting about stabbing mans and mans have stabbed him and blah, blah. But yeah, so they were saying that potentially that this guy's a fed. I'm not a really big fan of DJ Vlad. I don't like DJ Vlad. And I think I don't like him for the same reason that a lot of people don't like him. Again, almost like what Mr. Wolf was talking about with 6ix9ine. I think he's just taking from the culture, taking black people, which their own stupid fault for going on there in the first place,
Appropriating the shit.
getting them to chat rubbish, and then just making money for it.
So is he a white guy, this DJ?
Yeah, of course he is.
He's a Russian or
His
something.
name is Vlad.
Well,
Do you think it's what he's?
I didn't think his name was really
Well,
Vlad,
we have a Stavros here, and
but
he's from
Vlad.
Nigeria, isn't it?
exactly.
Olewa Vlad.
The thing is, I think with the Vlad situation, because I'm not a fan of his at all, for the same reasons. But people bring it on themselves. What I say is that there's a culture of certain situations, culture of certain rooms, offices, families, and the culture of Vlad is snitching. And it's not that he's well, let me not say he's begging you. He's asking you all the questions. What he wants is the dirt. So that's fine. He wants the dirt so that he can make money from views from people that want the dirt, because we all like listening to the dirt. So let's just admit to ourselves, we love watching the dirt, we love seeing the dirt, we love hearing the dirt. So he finds the dirt, puts it on YouTube, and people watch the dirt. Simple things. So that's his job. But maybe feds no, let me go there and look for the dirt, or they just happen to come across it.
I think he must have a really good interview style, because he really does. All of the people that go on there just open up.
This is what I mean about the culture of it as well, because you can cultivate it in the beginning, and then it gets to the point where, all right, I work in a situation where people move from massive offices to massive offices to massive, like all different areas of London. And when I've gone from one to another, and you notice that the culture of this place is that everybody leaves on time. They go home. And the culture of another place is that everyone stays over half an hour. Now, maybe the culture of where my wife works is that people start early. That's just the culture. It just so happened it got to that point.
Yeah.
So anybody that comes in, regardless of what you did to somewhere else, it gets to the point where it's like you just become part of the culture. And the culture of Vlad now is not necessarily my interview style is so good. I ask the right questions. It's just, when you go on Vlad, he's going to ask you them questions. So if you're stupid enough, you go on there and you are, because if you were sensible, you just wouldn't go on Vlad. It's just that simple.
Yeah,
you just wouldn't go on.
but he's a big platform now, so
Okay, or if you're not seeking that publicity, because if somebody said, Vlad always gets 1 million views, always standard. ESN, he wants you guys to come on. You're gonna get 1 million views. You're gonna push the podcast out there. You're gonna go on Vlad.
I'll go.
like, man, Simple Simon did rob somebody yesterday, my G.
I would go on there, but I wouldn't drink any of the water or any of the refreshments that he offers you,
You're in my brain.
because I'm sure my man's got the truth serum or Rohypnol or some shit. in his drink.
Them Bill Cosby behaviors
You know,
there.
like he's out here with the Quaaludes and that. Seriously, because all of them look too relaxed when they get there. All their eyes are glazed over and shit.
Yeah, garage.
It's in
You
the
gotta allow
water.
Bill Cosby. You know.
When he was saying garage, I said he's just taking the piss out here.
Or maybe you should.
So while he was on there chatting about garage, he allowed it to continue.
Yeah, because Vlad said, "Oh, so was that part of the garage scene?"
Yeah.
And instead of saying, "Yeah, well, the garage scene did this and that," he said, "Yeah, the garage." You can't really say the garage.
Oh, come on.
So that's how the situation went.
I know that Dizzy was on there and talked about getting stabbed and all the rest of it. Anyway, that's cancellation talk. You men watch Luke Cage?
Yeah.
Iron Fist?
Yeah.
How you feel about them cancelling that shit?
I don't care.
Did you watch into the second season?
I watched both seasons. I watched all of them.
It was trash, innit?
I'm just started watching Iron Fist. So I got 2 episodes left of the first season.
I heard the second season's alright.
Of Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Iron Fist
I
is
ain't
trash.
watched either of them. I ain't watched none of them.
Iron Fist is trash. Luke Cage is okay.
I didn't think Luke Cage was okay.
It was okay.
Not the first season, anyway.
It's nothing special. It was just okay. The second season.
There was just eye candy in there.
It's cringe. It's cringe-worthy in the
Alright.
second season.
A what?
It's cringe-worthy.
Why?
There's a lot of cringe because they basically tried to make it like a social media type thing. So he's doing YouTube videos and whatnot. Then had the yard people that can't even speak in any. There was one yard man on there that's meant to be from Jamaica, yeah, that spoke like an African uncle. Like there was no, maybe they was linking it right back to the root, but he was speaking like an African uncle.
Don't them things annoy you though, bruv? Why don't they just get someone from Yard to do the thing?
Because maybe they didn't have somebody from Yard available to them to do it just like so. So they had they had somebody called Bushmaster, who's one of Luke Cage's adversaries in the comics, and he was on there, and he was meant to be a Jamaican, and his accent wasn't the worst, but the rest of them around him was just terrible. It was
Somebody tweeted that the minute that he did this, it was over for him, and the diss was a gif. And it was that dab that he did.
Oh yeah, he did a dab.
Oh, he done a dab.
He did a dab on the video, bro. He did a dab.
Why?
So he blew up. So he must have.
I saw that.
Oh,
The
God.
dab was like, it was like if my dad did the dab, that's what it would have looked like.
Oh, God.
It was terrible.
Can you remember when them little black kids were dabbing and doing their little thing, and then
Yeah,
the
it
white
wasn't as
yeah.
bad as that.
because
Man.
the white kid.
Yeah.
Yo, I'll never forget that.
That was terrible. That's one of
white
my
kid
favorite
look like-
videos of all time. Oh lord.
Oh, Lord.
But yeah, so I don't expect the cancellations. Obviously, there's a reason why there's cancellations. One, because Netflix is obviously going to lose all these Marvel shows anyway.
Why?
Because Disney's opening up their own streaming service, and obviously Disney owns Marvel.
Don't lie.
So-
They're doing that.
So yeah, so they're gonna have all of the Marvel stuff's gonna come off of Netflix anyway, which is gonna be a big loss for them, and go into the Disney one. So there's no point us keeping this rubbish. Just get rid of it. I'm surprised we didn't get rid of Jessica Jones as well. Even though Jessica Jones' second season was quite good. I literally today just finished the last season of Daredevil. Daredevil's by far the best out of all of them.
Is it?
By far the best.
Yeah.
Like there's no
it's-
comparison to the.
But Jessica Jones is second.
Yeah, Jessica Jones is second, but Luke Cage is. Daredevil is just so much better. Sorry, Daredevil's by far the best, and Luke Cage. Jessica Jones is not second.
Yes, it is.
Punisher is second.
Okay, I haven't seen Punisher.
Punisher. In fact, Punisher might even be as good as Punisher's as good as Daredevil.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Rah.
Yeah, that's after Defenders, isn't it?
Yeah.
I watched that one. Yeah,
Man,
so I'm doing it in order. I'm catching up.
Rollcast was doing his bits in there, so yeah. But the best one of all of them has been the season with Punisher and Daredevil in the same season.
I watched
That was the best.
the original. No, sorry, I don't think it's even original, but the old Punisher film with
Dolph Lundgren.
No. Oh, see, that was the one.
That's the first one.
Yeah. So this is the one that came out in like 2002
I know the one. you're talking
or
about.
something. 2004, I think it was.
Yeah.
I was gonna watch that. Who's in it though?
What's his name? Who's the one in Face Off?
Look at this Cage.
The other one.
John Travolta.
Yeah, John Travolta's the bad man. He's the baddie. Oh, man, it's so cringeworthy, man.
Yeah, it is.
But I actually watched it to the end.
But you have to watch them.
I watch all them films at the end.
You gotta watch this today because you started till you was finished.
Yeah, I started
Is
to- I
Punisher
finished.
DC?
No, Punisher's
Marvel.
Marvel.
So what's your superpower?
Punisher's superpower is that he has no superpowers. He's just a military trained
a man.
human being.
Alright.
And he kills people. But he kills people. Like,
He's the dark side.
He's one of the only comic book characters that will openly kill with a gun. Bang, bang, bang. You're dead.
Deadpool.
Yeah, I said he's one of the only.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I heard you lot singing on the way in, some gospel trap. So I don't know anything about this. I seen the video pop up. I see man holding the Bible like it's a gun, and it's kind of like a big wave now. I think they're from SPAC Nation or something. What's the name of the group?
From who nation?
SPAC Nation.
What's that?
That's a church.
It's a church.
Right.
It's a controversial church.
Basically it's a drill church.
A drill church.
Yeah, so
Are you sure? Or is it just a
No,
church that plays drill music?
yeah, okay, fair enough that way. But it's basically a Nigerian church, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Because I'm assuming they're Nigerians. I'm just giving it to
Hold on, don't just toss us out of the
Nah,
boat like that.
only Nigerians can come with this. Man. It's
Yeah.
a prosperity church, basically. Yeah?
Yeah.
So it's a prosperity church where people go there and people, pray to God.
Sorry to interrupt you because this is important. Are you sure that that's what it's a prosperity church? Have you studied about the church at all?
The man said on a video to somebody that was dissing the church, how can you talk to me when your parents don't even have £5,000 in their bank account. That's the pastor that said that.
Yeah.
That is the pastor. He's a prosperity church, man. Their thing is that they go out there, you see them outside of the church with like Lamborghinis, Bentleys, all of this stuff. They all wear Louboutins when they go into the church. Like
the pastor has a Lamborghini and it says the personalized plate is pasta. PAS7 or
bruv, it's a prosperity church. I don't even understand why we're having this conversation.
It's a Lambo with pasta.
Are we for real?
So a lot of young
in the video is the man's.
I see it. I thought they were rentals, innit?
Maybe some of them are probably rentals, but his one's probably real.
I think I've seen that around actually. I've seen this car around.
They throw money at they spray them in the church. That's why I think that it's a lot of Nigerians there. They spray in the church and stuff like that, bruv.
I was on their Twitter the other day because the artists are
Hope Dealers.
The Hope Dealers with the song Trapmash in it.
Yeah.
Hope Dealers.
Yeah, Hope Dealers. So
like
the group Hope Dealers have a song called Trapmash, and it came out recently.
7th of October, the video posted.
I've been banging it. It's wicked. I just played it for my missus today, and she said we need to go to this church because she was watching the church. She was bang on it. She loved it. If you go on their Twitter, it's a lot of gospel singing, people on the floor praying, jumping around, holding hands. It actually looks like if I had to go to church, because I know they have elements of the trap stuff, but and they don't hide it. It's on their Twitter page and on their Instagram, I guess.
Bro,
but the majority of it is just like proper like outgoing praise, and it's like there's you see one white face in like 1,000 people. It's like it's getting, at some point it might be a mega church because it's massive. Yeah, I think they rent out hotels. So the ballrooms in the hotels.
So KICC, watch out.
Yeah, so it's one of them things, and they're so what's the word when you praising and you're
enthusiastic.
Well,
prosperous.
But no, not prosperous, but the religious version of enthusiasm. They're on it, and if I was a church person, that's the type of church I want to go to.
Patriots.
Yeah, man, have
There's
some
a lot
fun.
of churches like that, to be honest. Maybe this one, because they've got famous musicians.
Oh man, I'm just remembering the time that we went to your church.
Oh no, that wasn't my church. That was my parents' church.
Was that it?
Yes.
For my son's naming a long time ago. But the church that I go to, it's similar. And there's a lot of churches that are like this church, but because they've got maybe a famous singer or a famous artist with this trap song, which is good and very catchy, I think they're making a name for themselves. And I think that
What? Can I quote a couple of lyrics on the song?
Please do.
One of the man said, "Christians ain't on nothing. You Christians ain't on piss."
Run that again, bro.
Christians ain't on nothing. Christians ain't on piss. And my personal favourites. I'm a different kettle of fish. I'm a different fisher of men.
All right.
I like that one.
For me, it's obviously there's a lot of controversy behind this church, but we as you might not know, but because it came up before because they was wearing balaclavas in the church.
Yeah.
Which is obviously what the drill guys wear when they're doing their videos to not show who they are when
they call their Bibles waps.
What do they do when they when they want to shoot, when they want to talk about their, because drill music is, a lot of it is just to do how they're gonna kill you and stuff like that.
About how they're gonna kill you or how they did kill you.
Both of them.
Yes.
So obviously now taking that into the church, people are like, you can't take this music to the church. What kind of nonsense be this? And then they're there with their what's it called, their balaclavas in there. Can you imagine you go to church? Remember we had to dress up well to go to church. Them man are going in balaclavas,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Search on the internet for Trapmash challenge, because there's a dance that goes with the song, and people are now
the dance is heavy.
Yeah, and it's such a simple dance.
The dance is heavy.
My daughter could do it, but it gets you moving.
The dance is heavy, but I don't know, man. Is there anything wrong with this drill gospel? I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You praise the Lord with
I ain't a
the
Christian,
mash.
so I'm just enjoying that quality music.
That quality.
I was speaking to someone about gospel music the other day, funny enough, and I was saying to them who they love gospel, and I said, do you like gospel because the music is good or because it's just gospel? Because for me, I will listen to gospel, but if it's crap, I'm turning it off. the music has got to be good. I've got to like the sound of the music. Got to like the melody of the lyrics. And if they're rappers, if they're singers, then I'll need to like their flow as well. You know what I mean? And with this song, the beat is bad. The delivery is bad. Everything's bad about it.
Did you listen to the lyrics though?
Barely, because I only just listened to it now.
Because man is saying
but the
he
thing
pulled up on his ops and pulled out his WAP.
Yeah,
But
mad.
in the video, he takes out his Bible.
Yeah, the first thing that people listen to when they hear a music is the beat, innit? It's the first thing that comes to mind before any lyric. People need to feel the beat. It's got to touch their heart in some way. And then they'll start listening to the lyrics afterwards.
So go on.
I'm not a fan of gospel, man. The gospel's never really been one of the ones that's taken to me, if I'm going to be completely honest.
I don't listen to it enough to be a fan of nothing.
And to be honest, I've been thinking about it recently. I know I'm listening to music. Nothing really moves me anymore when I listen to stuff. Yeah, I don't listen to much house at the moment.
You need to, don't
Yeah, I think I need to. For me, house was more when I was in the clubs. That's when I was hearing the house, and then I'll go back and I'll be like house.
But you talk about music and certain albums and songs every other week that you love, bro.
It's not. It's like I love it for a moment, and then after that, I'm not moved anymore.
Do you know what it is? It's because you're getting older, bro.
It's nothing to do with that.
Nah, because he's thinking about the music of yesteryear, mate.
No, you know what it is? It's the music cycle. Once upon a time, an album came out, and another artist had another album, and that artist wasn't the same as the artist that you've already got now. So you had a little bit of diversity, and then there wouldn't be another project for a while. Now there's music every week. There's 6, 7, 8 different albums that are coming out from different artists, and they either all sound the same, or there's only one of them that's different, or they're shit. And I think before we had more time to soak an album, we listen to an album from start to finish again and again and again. And now you don't have the time to do that because there's so many different artists out there.
You know what? Podcasts has ruined music for me.
Why is that?
Because I don't listen to it as much anymore. If I didn't have podcasts to listen to, I would listen to music a lot more. But because I got podcasts to listen to, I don't listen to music.
I don't listen to music now because I don't like any of it.
No, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not even for that. That's the only time I really listen to music at the moment is in the gym. And even then, when I'm listening to music in the gym, I'm concentrating on something else. So I'm not necessarily concentrating that much on the music.
I personally think, I think that there is a lot of good music out there, you know, that we just, partly because of what Simple Simon says, there's so much coming out that we tend to miss what is good a lot of the time. There's some quality art, some quality music out there, man. Trust me.
I see a lot of people seem to be on and maybe it was the same back in the day as much as I don't think about it now, but neo soul and soul music seems to be the thing that people are pushing as this album, this soul. I don't care about soul or neo soul. I don't really. I can listen to those albums. I can, but it's not for me. I want to hear hip hop. I want to hear old school type banging hip hop. That's why whenever I see Westside Gunner and Conway pop up anywhere, I'm going to listen to it straight away because they remind me of Ghost and Ray. I want to hear that type of hip hop. I want to hear boom bap. And these days, I don't hear boom bap. I either hear some R&B singer that sounds like they're trying to rap, or some rapper that's trying to sound like they're doing R&B. Then you got the neo soul people that's got this vibe. I said that to my missus the other day for no good reason. I felt ashamed of myself. But yeah, they got a vibe.
What's the last 3 or 4 albums that you've listened to then that you've felt? The ones that you've kind of enjoyed.
This is saying some of the albums have been okay, but I haven't felt something for a while. So the last, what's it called? What's his name? Ghost and what's his name? Styles and Dave East. That was alright. I don't even know. I was
hyping up when I first heard it, but now the more I'm listening to it, it's like
I don't know, man.
The ones as good as I thought.
The ones I've been listening to are Styles and Dave East. I've been rinsing the is it the Diary of Ryan?
Okay, yeah.
But that's
Royce 59.
I like that album a lot.
Well,
that's old.
Yeah, that's what, a couple of months old.
No, man, that's even early this year.
Is it early this year? I've been rinsing that. And then I've been listening to Usher's album, you know. The Herpes Guy.
Is it just come out?
You just called him the Herpes Guy.
About a month. I think it's
Christy.
about a month. And my girl, the British girl, album's alright.
LMA.
You know?
LMA.
Everyone's saying LMA's album.
Good. I won't lie. Album's alright. You know what she's doing? She's doing spoken word in between tracks.
A lot of people are cussing that.
and I'm feeling that. I personally like that because I think that if that comes from an American artist, I think they'll appreciate it more. You know,
No,
she's got an authentic English London type accent, and she's just talking, and I like that element.
She's
of
getting
it.
a lot of props in the US. That album's getting a lot of people are saying that album's fantastic. Me, I'm not, because I don't want to listen to that. I get it. It's a nice, but I don't want to listen to that. I want to listen to you know what?
And I've been listening to African House.
Yeah, I've been listening to the house as well, but not as much. In fact, Stav has just laced me with the house because he hasn't been doing that anymore. But I'll tell you one thing that and I should be ashamed of myself, and I said it on Twitter the other day, and Vans came for me like, "Are you mad?" Do you know that it was like about maybe 2 months ago or a month and a half maybe actually, is the first time I listened to Rick Ross's God Forgives and I Don't.
What?
Maybach music.
Yes, I don't think I've ever heard that album from beginning to end complete. I've heard singles off the album. I've heard some tunes off the album. That is the first time I think I was washing the car or doing something with the car, because on Saturdays I like to do things in my car. I wash it or do some mechanics, right? And that is the first time
Bad man.
I heard that album, and I said, because when everybody keeps talking about Rick Ross, you know when somebody says something and you just nod along like you know what they're talking about. You're like, yeah. So when everybody goes, Rick Ross catalog is the best catalog, we're like, yeah, and I'll just nod my head like, okay. I never thought of why people are so obsessed with him. Some of his albums are good. I don't think they're the most special albums, but they're good. I can understand maybe for the time of people, and I get it. But when I heard that album, I said, what the hell is this? Like, why do I know this album?
Even when I heard the title, I said, I need it orgasm. I love that title. Because it's me. I told you I love revenge. It's me.
This album has got
me.
What's the album called?
God Forgives, but I Don't.
Not but I. Just God Forgives. I don't.
So
Track list.
Just to go on who's on this album. Yeah, he's got Dr. Dre on that album.
Yes.
Jay-Z on that album.
Yes.
Andre 3000 on that album.
Yes.
Ooh.
Nas on that album.
God.
Usher on the album. Drake on the album. That's how many. You got more as well. I'm just saying. Those are the ones I'm saying.
I told you,
10.
he is the rapper's rapper.
Listen,
Rick Ross is the
the
rapper's
song
rapper.
with Andre 3000 is bad.
It's a bad boy song.
The Maybach music, or whatever, at the end when when it cuts away and Neil's doing his bit, that's bad.
Yeah.
I said to myself, what? How do I not know this album? Like, how do I not know it?
You know that, man.
I don't know how you don't know that.
Do you know what it was?
I have to listen to it now.
There was a transition.
It's a good, but
When I went,
don't
when,
let me hype you up and then think, but it's a good album.
there was a transition from when we went from digital to streaming, or should I say from CD to streaming, where there's a gap in there where I don't know some of the music because I didn't understand the streaming stuff, and I wasn't really downloading everything because I didn't know what was coming out, and because I wasn't going to the record shop, I wasn't buying it as well. So there's a chunk of albums in one place where I haven't listened to all the albums that I would have listened to before, and that particular album comes in that chunk.
Rick Ross's first album was probably his worst, or first and second, but then from 3 onwards, his poorest albums from that way on is better than most people's albums.
Raw.
Yeah, Rick Ross just doesn't since
makes
his third album, he just doesn't make bad stuff. So like, I think, what was it, the one with the Black Python song on it or whatever, that one, that wasn't like his best album, but some people still calling that a classic. That's how good it is people are saying, well, that's a classic, and that's one of his poor albums in the last like 7-8 years. It's got a song called Black Python or whatever. It's a black and white cover. It's about 3 albums ago.
Okay, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, man. So the Market one, Black Market or Music Money something. Anyways, but yeah, I'm a big Rick Ross fan. Rick Ross and Drake is people that I think that if modern day rap was, because I see them more as modern, even though they've been around for a decade near enough each. I see them as the modern rappers. Maybe them and T.I. That's if those were the kind of rappers that were just kept releasing music, I'd be happy.
Yeah, I'm looking at the albums that came around that time. There's some bits where I've got some of them and some of them I don't. So yeah, it was just one of the ones I just didn't pick up. But yeah, I thought.
What's the name of the album again, sorry?
God Forgives, I Don't.
So you haven't heard it either?
No, I must have.
Don't let them youngers tell. Mr. Vance came from me like, what?
No. Of course I have. I'm looking at the album cover.
I haven't heard it, I'll be honest.
Oh. Well, I know I'm a big
album.
When Rick Ross drops something, I'm there. There's not many rappers I chase. Drake, if he drops something, I'm on it. And Rick Ross, when he drops something, I'm on it. Jay-Z, when he drops something, I'm on it. They're obviously
Do you know what? Legends. I let prejudice get in the way with the Rick Ross.
Why?
Because as soon as the whole He was a correctional facilities officer that came out. I don't want to hear nothing.
I didn't care.
I don't care about that.
Yeah, for me, I was just like, I can't listen to you.
The thing, I think one of the things about Rick Ross that makes people like Rick Ross is the fact that they know that most of the stuff he said is a lie. Like I remember there was a thread on the Twitter about what's the best lies Rick Ross ever said in his songs, and it was just talking about all of the different lies that he said. Things like he used helicopter into the building or something that you could never do, stuff like that.
Yeah,
people that he knows that everybody knows he's never met before in his life, stuff like that. So,
but there's people. This is the strange thing with him. You got people that you got records, paper that says he did this. There's nobody actually with their voice actually says it, and there's so many people. Well, not so many, but there are people from his history that have said Rick Ross is X, Y, Z. Nobody says there's just this proof that he was a correctional officer, but nobody says anything. You would figure somebody would have come out by now. Somebody would have done a Drake and tried to pay somebody to get the information.
No, they know it. That's the whole reason why we know it, because somebody came out to say something about him, but nobody cares.
Evidence,
Ain't no problem.
Nobody
Ain't no
cares.
problem.
It's the same thing like when the people came out to say that Drake had got a ghostwriter. The music is banging. Nobody cares.
I don't care, man. I don't care what you did.
The music is banging. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares, man. We live in an era where nobody cares. So as far as they're concerned, yes, you used to be a correctional facility manager, but you know,
he changed his job completely. Correctional facilities manager. Jesus.
Officer, then manager, I was saying,
God damn.
Managing the office. Don't make no difference. But yeah, man. I don't know. It's like I've lost. Maybe the streaming thing has made it worse for me. I like to be able to open a packet and put the CD in.
I think that's been the death of music. I think it's similar to what Simple Simon was saying, or in that same vein. I think taking time on, like what's that dating app that people use?
Tinder,
like let's say Tinder killed dating kind of thing, or killed romance, because it's too easy, it's too fast. When things are too easy, when they're too fast, you take it for granted. That's it. You just take things for granted. When you can't help it. It's human nature. When it's just there, you can't help but it's just there, innit? It's just there, and that's what music is. Before, you needed to go to the shop. If you depend on what type of shop you'd go to, you'd put on the headphones.
Red Records in the house,
two or
South
three
London,
things.
Brixton.
Wild for Sign, East London. I would go there, and because this is where I was going to disagree with you, Simple Simon. I bought 3 to 10 albums every week.
Yeah,
every week, and I would take them home and listen to them. Hey, and it wasn't nothing got popping on the internet. You had some forums and whatever, or maybe Black Chat, and that's it. Well, even then, you'd be listening to the music whilst you're on Black Chat. You weren't doing nothing. Yeah, you might go out, but when you're at home, you wasn't stuck on Twitter. Arguing with people, you were listening to music, and that's life was slower back then. You read books and you listened to music and you watched TV.
Which even goes back to what I was saying about the computer games. Like when I used to play games, I used to listen to music. There's stuff that I used to do that now I don't do, that doesn't allow me to listen to music the way that I used to. Even when I used to drive to work, I used to listen to music. I don't drive to work anymore. I get the train, and I'll listen to a podcast. It's like it's just everything's changed. The way that I consume music has changed. The way that I listen to music has changed, and it's got to a point where I don't know. Music is not.
Don't you have it in your headphones? It's a perfect.
You said these are podcasts.
I've been listening to podcasts instead.
Podcasts
so
Joe Budden's got a line. He says, "TV went real, music went fake." Yeah, as in reality TV is what started popping, and artists that used to express themselves and talk about what they did and how they felt. Rick Ross started chatting rubbish and started lying, and everyone was just this and everyone was just that. So TV started to get real, fake, or whatever, and vice versa. So I feel that's what happened. You would watch TV before, and it wasn't. TV now is better than it was before. Music now is not as good as it was before. It's gone in that direction, and that's the way it's going. We're spending more time watching good shows that you can't. The Wire was not. The Wire was not there 20 years ago. There was nothing like The Wire 20 years ago.
I wrote on Twitter the other day that before I get married, my missus has to watch The Wire so she can understand me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So even like stuff like when my missus says to me stuff like, "Do you like my hair? Or does my hair look good?" I always think about Snoop and Michael and Mike. Yeah, girl, you look good.
You look good.
You won't even know what I'm talking about. And I say something. When you call my name, I say my name is my name. She won't even know what I'm talking about. This time when she says something, and I say she
doesn't understand the reference.
She don't know what I'm talking about.
Can we touch on something like that?
And neither do I.
Go on.
What? Whoa!
I've said it before. I
Yeah.
haven't watched it, bro.
You haven't watched The Wire?
I haven't. No.
I'm going on, man.
You don't have no hair. You ain't watched The Wire
I
yet.
haven't watched The Wire, man.
I'm not sure you would like The Wire
I would like The Wire. Why wouldn't I like The Wire?
because it's so slow. Especially, was it season 2 or season
Oh,
3?
season 2 is
Hold on. Hold on. Rewind, selector. What's that got to do with me because it's so slow? That I haven't got patience.
Two slow things together don't win. No, joking.
I was going to say something about.
Have you watched Breaking Bad?
Yes, I've watched all of Breaking Bad.
Did you think it was good?
Yes.
But then you can watch The Wire because Breaking Bad is
Breaking
extremely
Bad
slow.
is not as slow as. The
Oh
Wire.
my god, the
No,
Breaking
it's
Bad's
not.
first season is
The first-
extremely slow.
The first season is slow.
The
but
first
after
3 seasons, I think, is slow.
Extremely slow. Nothing happens for a long time.
I think it picks up when Palos Hermanos starts to do his thing, innit?
Bruv,
You know?
that program is extremely slow. But The
How
Wire.
about Game of Thrones, though?
What do you mean?
First season.
That's not slow.
You know, first.
Nothing is slow in Game of Thrones. Something always happens on Game of Thrones.
Nah,
think-
it took me
I think-
3 episodes before.
This man's favorite program is 24. Remember that, yeah.
Bruv, I love 24. That's
There is-
high paced.
The
24
Wire is the exact opposite of
Let me
24.
tell you something now.
That's high
Let me tell you
paced.
something now. If you ever come to tell me that 24 is better than The Wire
After I've watched The Wire.
after you've watched The Wire,
Do you know what? I think
me and you is
it's.
gonna-
I think
are
it's
gonna
more. I think it's more. Michael Jackson is better than Prince.
No,
Kind
no,
of.
no, 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 no,
You know,
no,
because, no.
no,
Hold on,
yes
hold
and
on,
no.
Hold on.
Yes, he was still in
Hold
it.
on.
No,
Hold
it
on
wasn't,
now.
Joe.
Hold on now. Calm down now. Just pause. I think it's more. 24 was the first show that really became popular and big. You get me? That set trends for all these TV shows, innit?
No,
And didn't it?
No.
So what did then?
well, The Wire was out before 24 was.
I don't think it was, bruv.
I think it was.
You want to double check that?
I think it was.
All right.
Through the wire, yeah.
I think what I'd say is 24. From off the top of my head, maybe I'm wrong. I think it led the way in terms of what's Moorish TV?
Binge watching.
Binge watching.
Yeah, because at the time you couldn't binge watch because it wasn't set out like that. But if you could, you would. If 24, I mean, when they released box sets, you heard
That was
people,
like the first
yeah.
one that people went out.
You heard
I'm
people.
getting-
They
I'm
bought the
getting
box
that.
set and they would sit there and watch it within because you couldn't really do it in 24 hours, but they'd watch it in like 30 hours, 36 hours.
I'll be honest with you. I'd never watched 24 like that at all. And
No, but you have you watched it?
no.
Have you? It's
I
what
think
I'm
I've
saying,
been
you don't
sitting.
really-
I've been sitting in the room when my aunt's been watching. But this is the thing I'm getting to.
Oh, actually, no.
My aunt is going to be 60. One of them's 60, and the other one is
She
coming up
love
to
a
60.
Jack Bauer.
And they love 24.
Yeah.
So
No,
Are
okay.
you trying to say old people?
yes,
24 was
basically.
2001. Why is 2002? Fair enough.
Yeah, but just like what Stav said, didn't it? But listen, when I have time, when there's a gap in my life at some stage, I will try my level best to watch The Wire. But I haven't seen it, bro.
I watched The Wire before.
And I ain't watched Star Wars.
Before most people watch The Wire in this country.
Yeah, let's hold on. Let's find the clapping sound effect for Bahama.
No, the reason why I'm saying that because I watched it a long time before people even knew what The Wire was in this country. Yeah, and I'm not. The reason why I'm saying that is because one time, because it wasn't famous, nobody really knew this country. Nobody knew who Idris was because Idris was in The Wire.
I knew who it was.
But MG knew Idris, right? So salute MGF, which is
Are you calling him Idris on purpose?
Idris. What's his name?
Idris, you know.
Idris.
Idris.
Whatever the man's name is, man. Idris Elba.
Salute MGF.
Right. So
One
MG
time.
knew him, yeah. So one time I was at Alex Amosu's party.
Yeah.
It was an Amosu party. I don't know. It was years ago. This is what I'm saying. It was years ago. It might have been 2004.
Is it Rumi? Is it in Chelsea, innit?
Huh?
I
Chelsea.
remember that. Yeah.
What?
The place where you went to.
That was
I
called.
don't know.
What's the name of the event?
And now you're gonna
called,
be
man?
worried about
Sorry,
the
go
event.
on, go
Right,
on,
so
go
2000. It was ages ago. I don't even know if you was there.
I wasn't there.
I was definitely there with MG, and he was there. So MG's talking to him, and because nobody knows who he is at this time, right?
I might have been there.
No, he wasn't there. It was me and MG. I remember that specifically because people were talking to him. MG was talking to him, and no one really knew who he was. And I was like, this is one of the times I was proper starstruck. Not in a way of starstruck. Oh my god, look at this guy! But he was Stringer Bell, and he had just did some shit because the season had just ended. And he had just did some gangster shit in The Wire, man. He had just did some gangster shit. So when MG took us to him, I said, I stopped him. I said, MG, one second. I said, bruv, you're a bad man. He's like, what do you mean? He goes, I'll be watching The Wire. He goes, oh, okay, blah, blah. I said, yeah, man, your character's the best character. Because he was the best character at the time. I'm like, Stringer was doing that shit that time, man. No. When Stringer was out, Stringer was the best at the beginning.
Michael K. Williams.
This is what I'm saying. The Wire is so deep that the biggest gangsters that people would classify as homophobic, yeah, would say their favorite character was the gay man. But that's how I'm gonna leave it there. But yeah, so I saw him and I was like, bruv, you don't know why you're doing your bits, blah 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 blah. He was like, oh thanks man, blah blah blah. And I was like, why you do that for? I started asking questions about the program like he was trigger. I was like, why you do that for that? Blah blah blah. He was laughing. He goes, yeah, bro, you know, blah blah blah. I was thinking, ah man, it's cool. And I went about my business. But that day is when I said, this Wire is bad. And then I think it came out on the BBC, and then once it came out on BBC, everybody started watching The Wire. And then it picked up. So that's why I'm surprised that you haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think I was so into 24, I didn't watch anything else. I didn't want to watch anything else.
I did that same thing actually. Almost that same thing I had with Idris. It's the same thing I had with the guy from Snowfall.
Oh yeah.
Because again, I saw him at Alex's thing.
The polo thing.
The polo thing. I had to stop him and say, bruv, you're so wicked in Snowfall. He was like, thank you, man. He's Nigerian as well. Like, thank you, blah, 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 blah. Even like, what's your name? I'm like, my name's Wala, blah, blah, blah. I was like, cool. I was like, bruv, I had to ask him, what's going to happen in the next episode? Like, I can't tell you. But he goes, watch it. It's good. That show's wicked as well. So people, check out Snowfall. It's a wicked program. And he's fantastic in that. You would never know that boy was from Pickham. Never know he's from Pickham in that film.
Boy.
He sounds like he's
South
from
London boy. For those that didn't hear me,
he sounds like he's from the West Coast. And guess who's his vocal coach?
Snoop.
Dr. Dre.
Dub C.
Oh,
Dub C's a vocal coach.
Dub C is the one that trained him how to speak West Coast in that program.
What's up, cuz?
It's a John Singleton program, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's Dub C that showed him. In fact, Dub C's in the program at one point
Who's Dub C, bro?
from West Side Connection.
What would you do
He's a rapper.
if I punked your whole crew?
He's the guy that you see crip
run
walking
out and snitch on me. Brothers don't test cause we come from the West. Yes, the WS.
See, that was a movement for me. West Side Connection was a massive movement. If you don't know West Side Connection,
West Side,
I'm concerned for you, bruv. Because they're the ones that got everybody throwing up the West Side dub. Not Snoop, not Dre, not all them guys. It was
West
them, man.
Side Connection.
Ice Cube, Mac 10, and Dub C.
Mac 10. Okay.
When you watch the tour that the Ice Cube
Up in Smoke tour.
the Up in Smoke tour, Ice Cube, Dr.
Oh,
Dre,
yeah.
Eminem,
Oh,
the one that
yeah,
dusted off
yeah.
his shoes
Of course.
and did the crip walk all across the stage.
Yeah.
That's Dub C. He's got
Oh,
he's got the
yeah.
braids in his
Yeah,
head.
so he did the vocal coach for him,
Okay.
and fantastic. Whatever he did, he made this boy fantastic.
Okay.
Brilliant program.
Talking about things that people have watched. We're allowed to veer off a little bit.
Go on.
Who has watched The Hate You Gave? Can we talk about
Is
it?
it out yet?
Okay,
So you haven't watched it then?
I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you talk because I'm thinking, but I've got a wicked story about that, and I've been waiting to say it.
Yeah,
but wait for you lot to watch it.
are we allowed to talk? Because Stavros hasn't watched it. Have you watched it?
I ain't
Simple?
watched it, but go on. Talk
Is it
man.
out yet?
It's out.
Yes, I've watched it, innit?
Yeah,
I
but
told you that I've watched
you
it.
the king of pirates.
You're Somali.
Any Jack Sparrow?
Are you Somali?
It's my ship now.
Look at
Nah,
me. Look at me.
For these black films now, I've got to support it, innit? So
What
from my understanding, I didn't know it's a book, innit?
yeah, it's a book.
We spoke about it previously in the podcast, if memory serves me correctly. And the director is a black man.
What did you think of the film?
I thought the film was brilliant. I really did.
Oh my God.
There were some bits.
I thought it was crap.
There were some bits in the film that I wasn't too pleased about, but I think the good outweighs the bad, and I decided, which was something that I was thinking about for the whole week, whether I would take my daughter with me, and my daughter will be 9 in December, so she's quite young, and yeah, I took her, I took my son, and my daughter, similar to how her reactions were in Black Panther, she was really into the film, all action, kind of screaming and saying, no, don't do that, all those kind of things that you would expect adults to say. But I watched it in the South London cinema, and there was a lot of emotion in the cinema.
Okay, that's perfect segue for me.
Go ahead.
Perfect segue. So, I live outside of London.
Are you going to give just a brief outline about what the film is about?
No, I'm going to talk about what I wanted to talk about first.
But is it
Let people know.
okay?
Let him go. Let him go. Let him go.
Sorry, I think what the film is about is important to whatever story he's going to say. I bet you any money. Okay.
You give the outline of what the story.
I ain't seen it.
Well, you know about it because we spoke about it before. It's about a black. Okay, the story is about a young black boy that gets killed by police unlawfully for no reason, and then it's about what happens after. Is that I
think that's good enough.
I don't want to give them too much
spoilers. So
yeah?
for those that don't want to know about this,
unlawful killing from a police officer, and then what happens after that.
I ain't gonna give too many spoilers.
Hit that segue, man. I was interested, man.
So that's what I say. It was so perfect. And this man has stopped it. So
go on.
You said you was at a South London cinema, and people. Let's just say that I'm assuming it was majority black in that South London
100%, yes.
All right.
Which is why it's important.
All right, so I was in a cinema outside of London. I was in a cinema in Basildon, which is not where I live.
In Essex, mate.
Which is not where I live, by the way, before you try to chase me down. But it's where I go cinema, right? Bazzy.
So we know where you are now.
Yeah, exactly. Bazzy, come find me, innit? So, predominantly a white area and a predominantly white cinema. Now, if anybody has a Cineworld card, you know that Cineworld do this offer where they do secret showings. So they don't tell you what film it is. You just turn up at the cinema and then whatever comes on the show comes on. And it's usually a film that's maybe a couple of months down the line is going to come out, or a few weeks. It's always before the film's going to come out. So it's almost like a taster to see, what it is and maybe get reviews, I think. Right? So the last time that they did it, it was actually Incredibles 2. And it came out like about a month or two before The Incredibles came out. So everybody was hyped about this one. They were thinking, oh my God, they showed Incredibles 2 last time. It must be a big film. They thought it was going to be Bohemian Rhapsody. They thought it was going to be, there was some other film about a hotel that they thought it was going to be. All these big films that was coming out at Halloween. There's Halloween's coming out. It must be Halloween. Like all the big films that was coming out around the time, they thought it was going to be that.
And these white folks got disappointed.
That does this to me all the time. Never lets me finish. It's just what's the end my story for me.
Is that the end? It can't be the end.
Anyway.
Come on, sorry.
Yo, I'm proper the one that if you go to a comedian show and they do their punchline, you will shout the punchline from behind.
Tell me that weren't your punchline, bro.
And you will shout the punchline.
That can't have been your punchline.
It was behind the cupboard.
Yeah. I'd be laughing in the background. Anyway, so basically, we got a popcorn and we went and sat down. Everybody came in. People were properly hyped in the line to watch this film. So then this film comes on and it starts. And we're like, I see a black face on the screen. I'm like, oh, what's this? Because I completely forgot. Nobody had even mentioned that film. I was on Twitter trying to see about what people think it was. Nobody had mentioned that film at all. So people really thought it was something else. So the thing come on, I'm like, what's this? Then it said the title, The Hate You Give. I'm like, what's this? Then I'm like, oh yeah, that's the film that them man were talking about on the podcast. Because remember we spoke about the girl not being a black girl and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
So, first and foremost, the program comes on, you see a black person come up on the screen. You see about 4 or 5 people get up on this book.
That's what I was going to ask. How many people walked out? That's what I was going to ask. How many people walked out?
Right. Then you see the people that were a bit late, walking in from the aisle, saw blacks on the screen, walk straight back out.
Did they do that gif with the Simpsons gif where the man walked in, put the hat down, then saw somebody, picked the hat up and walked out again?
Almost. Then you saw people, right, so it started off with about 3 or 4.
Or the Homer Simpson one where he just goes into the bush.
So it started off with about 3 or 4 people walking out. Then I saw another maybe 5 or 6 people walking out. Then another maybe 7 or 8 people walked out. Then it's like about 20 minutes, half an hour into the film. So people are like, you know what, I gave these darkies a chance. They started walking out. Then some people saw what actually the film was about. And then saw the police brutality. Started seeing the black people, doing they stand up for your rights. They started to walk out. By the time we had left, I'll say about 30, maybe about 30 people had walked out of the cinema. The cinema was still packish. Well, I've never seen 30 people walk out of a cinema before.
That's deep.
And the people that's not including the people that walked up the aisle. So one woman screamed, "What's that?" Oh, walked out again.
Wow.
They just went to get popcorn.
No, they didn't come back.
Wow.
They had the popcorn. That's why they were late.
Oh my days.
That's deep.
So that shows you the difference.
Let's go pay and watch a real film.
That's what they did. They just went to go watch another film. So that's the difference between watching it with the people that you watched it with the people that I watched it with. Because the people that stayed to the end, I think they did it because they just didn't want to be seen as the ones that walked out. Some of them. And other ones are like, I'll pay to come here now. No, not paid, but
But I would say the people that watched it is the people that have the Cineworld card. They pay monthly to go to the cinema. They're movie buffs. You would assume most of them are. They want to watch films,
but not these ones. They were out, mate.
That's deep.
Me and my missus
that makes it even
day.
worse because that lets you know that the common cinema going, just the person that just once in a blue moon goes, no, we're going to watch that film unless they're black.
It's deep though.
And let me tell you, the people that sat next to us Apparently, I was intimidated to them, but I won't get into that.
Who told you that?
No surprise. No surprise
My
there.
missus, because they were talking. So basically, they were talking, and then I must have said, "Are you going to talk for it? Are these people going to talk throughout the whole film?" And then they just
So you did the sub talk. You didn't even talk to them. You talked to.
I talked. I talked like this. Whoever was around me.
I told somebody off in a cinema, and I think that's only the second time I've ever done it. I'm sitting there, and all I'm getting is like their foot kept on tapping on my seat, and I was like, and I've got my kids with me, and I didn't want to make it, but I said, look, can you be careful with what you're doing? You keep on kicking the seat. And she done it a second time. About 15 minutes later, I just switched on.
It was a woman.
It was a woman. innit?
Bully brute.
Well, come on,
Man.
man.
On black women, look at him.
Was it a black woman?
He's not even.
Nah, it wasn't a black woman. It was a white woman.
Oh, that's why the only white in the cinema you went to go and abuse.
Well, I didn't know at the time who was behind me. I didn't care who was behind me. I just turned around and said stop, and I realized it was a white lady.
Hang on,
but-
what kind of cinema are you going to where the seat from they can touch your seat from behind?
Almost every cinema they.
What
can
cinema are you going to where they can't?
Don't mind him,
You
man.
don't
He
have to
just
come to
wants
my
to-
cinema,
you
bro.
don't mind him.
Jeez, you don't have to come to my cinema. The shit's recline, bro.
What's that got to do with them being able to kick you?
You can't kick you. You can't touch the seat in
I've
front.
been to the cinema that you go to.
No, you cannot touch the seat in front at all.
Okay, yeah,
Okay,
all right. I would like to go there.
All right.
So hold on. You said the film was no good.
The film wasn't good though.
So then why you got probably people walking out the
Because
film?
they hadn't even got to the point to know whether or not the film was good before they had walked out the film. They just saw blacks and walked out.
Can I ask you, do you think that you'll probably say no, but do you think that your perception of the film was influenced by the people around you?
No. The reason why the
Because-
film was sorry, go on. I was gonna answer the question. I was gonna finish answering the question.
What are you laughing for?
I'm laughing because it was funny.
What was funny?
Oh, now you derailed the derailment.
Just continue.
Go on, bro.
You do it on
You
purpose.
continue.
No. I asked him a question.
Okay, so the reason why I don't think that had any impact on me is because it wasn't a case of the reason why I said the film wasn't good is because I thought it was very rushed. There was a lot of things that they left unexplained in that film that was probably more, for me, would have been more interesting than the topic matter of the film itself. So that's why
Like what?
Well, I don't want to get too deep into it, but look, just going back to the history of the dad and the friend and all of that situation. Look at the children. Did you not notice all of this stuff?
Yeah.
So how much?
Even my daughter was asking about that.
Exactly, because there was so much there, obviously conversation to have, and so much to backstory for that. The fact that they didn't show that, the fact that it was just there on the screen, for me, this was like, what's this? So without getting, because we can't get into this thing too much, there was a lot of stuff that they left out, and it seemed very rushed to me. And then the rest of the film was just like, what do you want? What do you want from
For me, without giving any spoilers away, I felt that the film was quite. Obviously, people talk about the Black Lives Matter movement, but it's not a Black Lives Matter film. It's a film about injustices that we have had to deal with in the last, say, 10, 15 years or so, even longer than that. I'm not talking about way back. You get me? But there were a lot of things that rang true with me. The relationship between the husband and his wife, the relationship between the father and his daughter, and the relationship between the father and the rest of the children. The way how he, his influence on his children was evident throughout the film. You get me? And it made me think that, as a father, that there's always more that you can do. There's always a little bit better that you can do when it comes to your children. And
I disagree.
well,
watch the film.
My thing is that you can think that you're perfect, but there's always going to be a better approach to life, or a better approach to the way that you're bringing up your kids, man. And just watching that film and watching how he interacted with his kids, I thought was fantastic.
Go
ahead.
Two things based on that. One of them was you said you related with how the relationships in the program were.
I liked it.
So I'm going to talk about the Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith red table thing in a second.
Okay.
But one of them, you said that you could always do better as a father. And I just want to give a quick story about what I had to do as a father this week.
Okay.
If we're going to talk about what happened this week.
So you're deviating.
What happened this week? Yeah, because you want to talk about this film even more? Even though we can't really talk about
I'm just saying that's what you're doing. Because I've done it before and you've had an issue with it.
This is where things don't go smooth.
No, I'm just saying, innit? Deviate, bro. It's never been a problem. It's only been a problem when I've done it.
Oh, guess what? You done something petty just now.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Deviate, bro. It's okay.
All right. So you weren't finished?
No,
He was finished.
no, I wasn't.
You wasn't
Okay,
finished.
sorry.
No,
No,
okay, so
continue then. I thought you had
finished.
Sorry.
It sounded like you had
You
finished.
fucking
you-
sensitive bastards.
Ain't nobody got a problem. Ain't nobody got a problem.
Fuck what he was saying. Keep going,
Nobody got a
Stav.
problem.
No, but it did sound like he had finished.
I hadn't finished talking about the film, but if we want to move on, it's no big deal. Go ahead, bro.
No, if you got something more to just get off your
My
chest.
friend, carry on, man.
Okay. This week, my daughter ate swine for the first time.
Okay, I remember you telling that story in the group. Carry on.
So, you ain't seen Stavros just angry in a long time.
I remember the last time.
All right.
I can't remember the last time.
Yes, you can.
It was not Chairgate. Was it Chairgate?
It was check.
Oh, Brazil.
Chairgate in
Oh,
Brazil,
jeez.
bro.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
I was nearly as angry as Chairgate. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Call it SwineGate then. Right. So what happened was,
Man got a broken rib for that, you know.
my daughter goes to a Montessori that's half an hour drive from my house. Yeah. There's a nursery that's 5 minutes walk from my house, right next to the station that me and my wife both have to go to get to work. So it's perfect to drop her off, go to work and come back. The reason we didn't go there is because when we went to visit, obviously they know we're coming. You can't just pop in. They were feeding the children government cheese and dry bread. Yeah.
Can I have some more?
It was that kind of place. Plus, the teacher,
the bread has come out of the flipping wrapper
to
and
be,
it's just
to
been
be
left
honest,
there.
the bread wasn't dry, but it just didn't look like the best quality bread.
They gave them the back,
but
the back of the bread.
the cheese was government cheese.
It
Like,
wasn't
it was blocks of cheese, and they were grating it in front of in the class. I'm like, they knew we were coming. They didn't even like try and pretend like. Anyways,
I wanted halloumi.
and the teachers just looked a bit,
Digga.
yeah, the teachers look like people I wouldn't want to associate with, right? So we went far enough, and we tried to find a nice one, right? So we went there, some Montessori, and I've just now found out it was owned by Muslims. So when we've gone there, at the time, when you're new parents, you're trying to be ultra this and ultra that, and we're like, we want to bring our own food in, and it's like, you can't bring your own food in, yeah. I said, okay then, but yada yada yada. All the nurseries said the same thing, you can't bring your own food in. But this was one of the one nursery that said, but we don't serve pork. Because I said no swine. I said, oh yeah, because they asked for your dietary requirements, no nuts and all this. And people, we don't do pork. I said, oh, wicked. Yeah, it's like we don't have that on the menu. Cool, no problem. So that's a year ago. So now this year it's been taken over by who? The people that own the one next door to my house. And what's the first thing they did? And they've just taken it over. First of all, now they're sending letters talking about we haven't paid them enough, and they've sent it to like 20 or 30 parents. And so clearly, if everyone's been paying for X amount of years, and then you come and people and there's mistakes being made. Clearly, it's you making the mistakes because nobody made mistakes before you come. Anyways, that's one issue. The second issue is my wife got to pick up the child. What's she done? Oh yeah, she slept this, she's had that, and she ate sausages. What kind of sausages? Pork. It's like, but she's not meant to eat pork. Oh, we didn't know this. It's like, but you don't serve pork. Oh yeah, but we do now. And ask the parents if now that you've introduced something into the menu. So anyway, she called me. I was at work at the time. I tell you, the way I wanted to just drop everything and go, but obviously I'm at work. The next day, I said, I have to go in. I went in before I went to work. Now, my missus works right close to this place. I called her before I got there. I said, listen, you better come because I'm going to kick off. I told my family the day before I was going to kick off. My daddy called me and said, Stavros, don't do what you're going to do. He called me, My dad don't call me for nothing. He called me and said, listen, don't
say that.
Yeah, don't do it. He said,
Don't say that.
He
Daddy
said,
calls, man. Daddy calls,
he
man.
calls me. Yeah, okay. Daddy calls once in a while. Yeah, but he calls to talk to he called me the other day. I didn't call him back. And I said, I know why. Because he didn't want to talk to me. He wanted to talk to my daughter, innit? And he said, yeah, but, still, you could have called me back still. But anyways, he said, report them. Which is because that's what my dad loves to do. I'll report you. Anyways, I went there. I kicked off. And then, because my missus had already complained, but when I kicked off, then all of a sudden, they're giving us this, they're giving us that. People are calling her up and saying, we're sorry. I said, sometimes, because you go there, you're kiki, you ha-ha. Obviously, you're nice, innit? But sometimes you have to remember, I'm from Hackney, So just because I come there and, I look all nice and I smile and I joke with you, if you mess with my child,
It's a problem.
Yeah, it's and I was blatantly like, I want to take my child out of this place now. And there was one of the people from the people that have taken over. She had the ribbon over her thing with the name on it, and so I knew blatantly she works for that person. And my missus had told me that when she made the complaint the day before, they had kind of, when people do stuff and it's kind of like, yeah, we know. You people can't see it, but it's one of them things. Like, yeah, we had kind of basically, wink. We understand why you're complaining because we have our own complaints, but we've been taken over now. What can we do? There was one of them kind of things. Yeah, the level's not as good. Maybe they were spending £5 per head on food before. The new people have come in. What do you use? And it's straight away. It's cost cutting. Why are you spending £5 a head? Could do this on £3.50. Yeah. Why not swine? Bring in a pork. Yeah, I don't know what it is with English people and swine. In fact, Europeans.
It's cheap.
Well, whatever it is, man. Anyways, so I just went there and I kicked off. That was the first thing.
So know what happened?
Well, this just happened on the Friday. It happened on the Thursday. I went in on the Friday, so that was the last day that we could talk to them. And they're going to reevaluate things. I don't know. So I don't know what's going to happen.
They said they're giving you all this stuff. What stuff are they giving you?
They've given us documentation. Well, they sent to my wife. I'll let her read it. But basically, the manager of that doesn't work there had called my missus and apologized. And then what they did was actually they sent us documentation because in the first year we wrote no pork. She's in her second year of nursery now, and in the dietary requirements, because they said we don't serve pork, we didn't put no pork. And they're trying to use that as proof, but we have both copies, and it's like, but you don't serve pork. It was part of your selling point. We don't do pork.
What's your selling point? That's your selling point.
So at the time when they were bringing pork on the menu, that's when they should have told the masses.
Exactly. But Simple. They said we did. But they didn't. They had a notice up saying we're going to, now that we've taken over, we're going to have an exciting new menu. That's it. They didn't say,
what, on a whiteboard somewhere that nobody can see it?
I said, I was telling them, if you introduce something into something that wasn't there before, into the ecosystem that was not there before, you now have to go through again and ask every parent, this is what we're now introducing that we didn't do before. Are you cool with us doing this or not? That's just common sense. That's how you run a business properly. I said, you don't mess with these children. I said, okay, you didn't do nuts. So are you doing nuts now? And then are there people that are allergic to nuts that you're just not going to ask them? Just going to now introduce it into their menu? I said, it's too dangerous. There's people that died recently from eating things because it wasn't labeled properly.
You told them all of this?
Yes.
Good.
And I said, I was like, it's when the woman from the one that's taken over, it's when I said, I want to take my child out. That's when she looked up from the desk. And I said, because this is not what I bought her here for. I was even the truth. I told him, listen, I travel half an hour to get away from the people that and she opened up her eyes. And she said, I've been working here for a long time. I said, I've traveled half an hour. I live right next to one of your people. And I moved away from, I didn't want to be racist. I didn't want to be around your people. I wanted to be around my own. So, anyways, and she said, "Well, we'll try, but anyway, what can you do? But I'm gonna see how things go, how things play out, and I've got no problem moving it."
Can I segue?
Go on.
So we were talking about, I was saying you were like a racist and you wanted to be away from those people. What do you think about this Ryanair situation?
Oh yeah, this thing I didn't even read into it.
I don't think nothing, man.
I didn't even read into it because when I saw the headline and I see the situation, there's been so many of these. I
just don't understand. Have you seen there's an advert?
What is the Ryanair situation?
Okay, sorry. So people that don't know, Ryanair is a cheap budget airline that runs within Europe. Yeah,
it's a cheap and budget. Go
on.
on.
That's what it is. Shout out to Ryanair, man's used it. So basically there was a guy, old white guy in his like 50s or something, 60s maybe, that was on the plane, and an elderly black woman who in her 70s came to sit next to him. And then from what you can see on the video, because there's always a video now these days, is you can see him raging at the woman and telling her to go away. I do not want you to sit next to me. Do not sit next to me. And then she's like, well, the woman's like meek, like, why don't you want me to sit next to you, that figure, whatever. And then he just calls her a black bitch. Yeah?
Yeah.
And then says, take this bitch. It was a black bitch, wasn't it?
I didn't watch the thing.
Or black bastard or black bitch. One of the two. Ugly black bitch, even, I think he said.
Go on.
Then he said,
I love this guy because I'm sure when you listen to the thing, he just calls it, I don't want to sit next to this black person.
No,
he didn't.
He said ugly black.
He said something.
Ugly black bitch or something like that.
That required asterisks. So it was either bitch or bastard or whatever.
And then he called her a bitch again. Ugly bitch again. And then eventually, I think the lady, because her daughter was on the plane as well, moved to go out, was either moved to sit with the daughter or requested to sit with the, either way, I'm not too sure. But you can hear people on the plane saying, take the man off the plane. Why are you allowing this man to keep abusing this woman? And he's just stay on the plane. And you can see the normal, like, the stewardess just trying to calm the man down. But I was like, why don't you just take him off the plane? And why is he the one? Why is she the one that's moving? If somebody is making all of this noise and he's the one that's causing the disruption, why are you picking up the 70-year-old woman and moving her instead of moving this man?
White privilege.
And then he's gone on GMTV or whatever TV there is.
I'm not a racist.
Yeah, and said, I'm not racist.
He's gone on TV.
They've both been on TV, but he's also been on TV. And said, yes, I've said what I said. And then said, I'm not racist. I was angry.
Angry at what?
My temper got to me, and that is why I said what I said, not because I'm a racist person.
Do you know what? That video was put into the barbershop group, which is very busy nowadays, and a few other groups. I saw it and I tried hard to just eliminate it from my mind, it enraged me so much because that could be my mum, it could be my auntie.
Couldn't be mine, boy.
Yeah, well, the point is that it's an elderly woman to me that is one of our own, innit? And if I just put it this way, if that was my sister, I know my sister. My sister would have launched for the guy. Literally, she would have flew over the seats and just put her hands around his neck.
The woman that was there is also, I think, about 55, the daughter.
Well,
and the mum's quite old. So I think the woman was 55. So a 55-year-old woman might not be launching herself from across the sea.
I don't know about that, man. I mean, I know my sister, and I'm not saying that she's old, but I know how she gets down. Because I am thankful that I haven't been put in a situation like that, because I don't know what I will end up in jail, bro.
That's the thing now. What would you do? Because I don't know if your mother would appreciate you being in jail for attacking somebody that verbally abused her.
Yeah.
I don't think she would probably like, this is the worst situation I could be in. I've just gone through this trauma. Now my son's being taken away in handcuffs.
Yeah, it's happened before. Where where somebody has, I wouldn't say threatened my mum, but has made my mum feel away, and I've got the baseball bat out and I'm ready to smash his head in. And my mum has been there, but because the anger consumes you so much, I don't care what my mum is thinking.
Is this Vlad dry snitching season?
That's what I was about to say, boy.
I mean,
he said
I mean,
allegedly.
Serious.
He allegedly got the aluminum bat from the boot.
Allegedly.
I mean, if that happens, I would maybe, if I'm calm, if I'm in an element of calmness, which could happen, I will remove my mum from the seat and I will sit in the seat. And I will make the man feel extremely uncomfortable for the whole of that.
But you wouldn't be able to, because they would have called police immediately. That's my problem.
By doing what?
Because they will say that now that you're there, it's probably going to be more of a threatening situation.
Now that the black man is there now, innit?
So now they're going to call police.
Because
I already know.
Because a black man is sitting and taking the seat off his mother. And now I'm the one is becoming a threat when the man is the one that is enraged and shouting and abusing the woman.
Yeah.
This is white privilege. The Ryanair should be ashamed of themselves. I think that they apologize, but all of that is all too late. The stewardess, the lead steward, or whoever the person is, did not deal with that properly. They should have removed the man one time, and there would have been no major social media.
They would have got praised.
Exactly, but now they're just getting cussed.
And I don't know how much because of the boycott. Apparently, people are saying boycott Ryanair. I tell you right now, if you put 30% off flight tomorrow, mans will be in Paris, mate. There's no that stuff don't work with blacks. We like cheap shit. So I don't know, man. I don't know what I would do. I
know what you would do, bruv. I know what you would do.
I don't know if I'd hit. I would make noise.
Exactly. You would. All you need to do is just be there, and people are getting scared.
Yeah, so
and then you raise your voice, and then the guy, I think he will settle himself. You get me? So that's the thing with sometimes
they don't.
Some of these white folks, they feel so privileged, and they look at us as if we're nothing. So they feel that they can just say what they want and do what they want to us, even if it's an elderly woman. It's a woman, and then she's elderly. and then you're shouting at her as if she's nothing.
I don't know what I'll do.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like, come on, man, because I am a defender of the elderly, especially our black, our grandmas, our grandpas, and what have you. When I see them, you know,
Defenders of the earth.
yes,
defenders.
one time, if I'm on the bus and I'll make sure I'll find them a seat, I'll get their trolley, I'll lift it up. You know, I'll generally help them, man. That is our generation. On a serious note, man, you know, come on, you can't do that to our grandmas and our grandpas, man. Come on.
It's not.
I ain't got no wicked man talk for you, but I know for sure that plane ain't taking off.
That's what I'm saying. It's
So I make it a problem for the airline. Now you're losing money. Yeah?
That's why they didn't want to take him off in the first place, probably.
Yes, but I'm
Delay
saying
the
now you're
flight.
losing money. This plane ain't going nowhere. Yeah? So
Yeah,
Are you
the
stopping?
marshal?
By doing what?
what do you mean?
What are you gonna do to stop the plane from going?
I'll think of something.
Something that's not gonna get you carted away in cuffs,
Of
or
course.
at least by security.
Of course.
Of course, you're gonna get taken away by security.
Something's going to happen, but the plane's not taking off. I'm delaying that shit.
Yeah, but if the security gets rid of you after 20 minutes,
They're not
then
getting
the
rid
plane's...
of me. They're not getting rid of me. I'm not the person that's getting rid of at all.
You don't look like no Dalek to me.
I'd be very interested in how you're gonna stop the plane from taking off without security taking you off, because you'd have to do something. Even if it's just I'm standing up and I ain't going. I'm standing up. I'm not. Even if it's something as simple and as passive as I'm going to stand up in the middle of the corridor and I'm not going to do my seatbelt, so you cannot taxi off. Yeah,
Precisely.
But then they get rid of you.
no, it's not me they're getting rid of.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I remember that Chinese man that did drag off the plane that time.
It's not me they're getting rid of.
Is it a Chinese man or a black man?
It was a Chinese man. I remember.
Are you sure he was Chinese? Maybe he could have been Vietnamese.
I'm saying Chinese. He died, though, innit? We shouldn't even be laughing. Did he die?
Did he die?
He didn't die.
I don't know.
He didn't die.
Something
I can't
happened to
remember.
him, man. Remember they dragged him off the plane.
They made it was the wrong. No, they dragged him off the plane because the plane was full and they wanted him to come off the
Yeah,
plane.
and he
out
didn't
of
wanna
all the
go.
people, and he
Yeah.
didn't want to go.
And they beat him up. That's it. They beat him up. The
Yeah,
train.
yeah.
Yeah,
They
it was
beat him
bleeding. It was bleeding.
That's it. I thought he died.
You know what? The jokes of saying, is he Chinese, Vietnamese, Korean, or whatever? Have you seen that meme of the Titanic one?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh my god!
So what you have is in the film Titanic. I'm gonna spoil it if you haven't seen it. The boat sinks, yeah, and there's one of the men.
It's a real thing. It's not like it's.
Yes, I know this.
I'm not saying that you don't know it, but I'm saying you can't really spoil something that's real. It's real.
That's the joke.
Whoever don't know that is a fucking idiot right now, boy.
That's the joke. Anyways,
One time.
so one of the man them wants to get off, and back in the day they did it all gentlemanly, like it was women and children were off the boat. So one man picked up a random child that had lost his parents because he wanted to claim to be the parent of the child and say, you know, I need to get off the boat because I have this child with me.
I've never watched Titanic, by the way.
Sorry?
Again, I've never watched Titanic.
Seriously?
No.
It's a good film, man. It's a good film. It's still biggest film of all time. Anyways, or second after Avatar. Same director. Can you imagine? Anyways. So in the picture you see the man that one of the people that works on the ship says, sorry sir, women and children only. And then in the next scene is, did you just misgender me?
No, you just assume my gender.
And you know what I thought was? If that happened now, today, like in real life, that happened,
Yep.
what would the people say? What would happen?
I think in a time of
What would actually happen?
I think in a time of crisis, you go back to default settings.
Do you really think so?
I would.
So Caitlyn. Is Caitlyn getting on a boat before next?
Nope.
You think Caitlin's gonna be a mandem this time? Yeah.
In that situation, you go back to default
Whoa,
settings.
pussy.
So I'm talking
That's very interesting.
women that are
Serious.
super trans progressive,
yeah.
super trans, fight for the trans people. Do you think in that kind of situation they'd be like, well, we're equal? So there's 100 spaces left, and there's 100 trans women and 100 cis women. But those 100 cis women are fully for the trans. In fact, the whole boat was there for a fight for trans rights. That everybody's there. That's what they're there for.
Yeah, you're making it too thingy because they can say half and half. You should say that there's.
Would it be half and half?
But they could say that. What you would say is this: that there's two things left on the boat. There is one cis woman and one trans woman, and they say which one. And they say and the what's it called, the whatever policies, women first, men after. Which one do you think is going to get on that boat?
It's obvious. I told you. You go back to in crisis mode. You go back to default settings.
So you think the cis woman is like, sorry, I was fighting the cause, but this is a step too far.
There is two.
I ain't dying for you.
There is two things that will reset white people: crisis and alcohol. If you want to know the heart of a white person, get them drunk.
Where did white people come from?
Because they're the only ones on the boat, man. No blacks on the boat.
The only blacks on the boat with the what do you call it? The musicians. One or two musicians. That's it.
We know they survived.
You know, like that. So there you go. So that's If you want to bring white people back to the default settings, crisis or alcohol.
But let's just say there's normal. Everyone's not just white. So cis person versus trans person.
If you want to bring somebody back to default settings, crisis. Trust me. All of that other sophisticated shit goes out the window.
I reckon it just depends on the person's personality.
Do you think that the men these days will even let the women get on first? Some of these bitch ass men will be on the first ones on there.
Of course they would.
I need to get on because I need to be on.
I'm too metro for this shit.
Get it? Shout out to Wavy and
Shout out.
Skinny
I was gonna say shout out Wavy and your skinny jeans. Is Mankini or whatever. What is it called?
It's the skinny boy. Griff told him one time, nah, bruv, they're quite leggings. Whether you call them jeggings or meggings or whatever you call them.
Meggings.
They're meggings.
That is Wavy from Not Everyday Podcast. Search their social media and you'll see the picture of him wearing the tightest the tightest of tight man meggings. He doesn't even have skinny legs, you know.
No, like pom shorts.
He's got chunky legs.
I don't know about all of that. That's too much.
He drops a couple of points for that. Anyways, we're done.
Yeah, we are really done.
And we're gonna talk about the guy who's been sending the bombs around the place.
Well, when we say we're done, then I would assume no. But obviously, but now we are talking about the bombs, I suppose. Go on.
I don't know, man.
I haven't read enough about it, to be honest with you.
I don't even care.
I know that I got
alerts.
A couple of alerts. It was like ping. There's a bomb found. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Ping, another bomb found. I was like, it must have been about.
There was 11, isn't it?
12.
11 or 12.
12 altogether, but I must have got to about 4, and I was like, what?
Were any of them the ones that could activate though? Were they real bombs?
They
were
say
real
that
bombs.
they are real bombs. They were sent to Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama's deputy president. What's his name again?
Oh, my guy, Biden.
And a few other supporters of that party and the CNN crew as well.
I would say less supporters of the Democrats that are all involved were Democrats. I would say
anti-Trump people.
Yeah, they were all. They were all very vocal and anti-Trumpers.
But none of them went off.
None of them went off. One of them was
controlled explosion.
And yeah, they caught the guy. Anyways, they caught him. They caught him about 3 days after the first one. I think the first one happened on a Wednesday, and they caught him on what's the day?
Saturday.
They caught him on the Friday.
To be fair,
he was wearing a mega hat.
To be fair, this is more or less season 5 and 6 of 24.
Oh fuck it! No, I knew you were gonna
swear
come
on my life, I'm not even joking, bruv. In 24, this shit is what happens, innit? And they either catch the guy or they'll kill the guy. There's somebody out there like Jack Bauer is catching these guys, innit? It's true. Sending bombs.
So did you want to talk about this just so you could talk about it?
No. I didn't. But when you think about it, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when 24 came out, you know, and the idea of a black president, I saw that and I thought, you know what, that's never going to happen, innit? And then sending bombs to a president's place or trying to kill this president in this way, I thought, nah, that's not happening. And then you see it's all happening now, bro.
Well, people have been killing presidents from a long time, though.
No, but I'm just saying, there's no...
Back to the Joe Biden lyrics. TV went real, music went fake.
Well, there you go.
I think... I don't know about this bombing thing.
It could be a conspiracy.
One of them is Robert De Niro.
He got one, yeah.
They sent one to his restaurant.
Yeah, but he's again a very
very vocal. He's the one that
punch him in the
went
mouth.
on TV. He said F Trump. That's what he did on TV. But so when they were presenting the awards, the Tony Awards, I think it was. He was presenting a Tony Award, and that's what he went up there to say.
But everybody, there's a lot of celebrities that say fuck Trump.
No. Robert De Niro's a massive one. He's like, you can't, because he owns what's that restaurant at Nobu? That restaurant that all the rappers love going to. He's co-owner of that. He's like, you can't come into any of my restaurants. You know, yada yada yada. He's always talking about Trump.
Yeah, he's not happy. Remember, he likes the blacks though.
And the black women.
He has to go home to his wife. Can't be this there supporting Trump.
Joke thing.
He believes you shouldn't. What's that? Do that to your children? The injections.
Vaccinations.
Yeah, he's one of the proponents that you shouldn't vaccinate your children.
Ooh.
Did you vaccinate your child?
No.
Neither did I.
You lot going around with measles and all diseases.
You know what I find?
Sorry, go
Go on.
That's
The
that's
thing
a
that I find
topic.
the most fascinating about this vaccination, non-vaccination thing, is that when other people hear that your child's not vaccinated, they pull their children closer to themselves, and it doesn't make any sense because like their children are vaccinated, yours is not, and now somehow yours is a big threat.
Because they're saying that if you're just because somebody's had a vaccination doesn't necessarily mean you're never ever gonna get that disease.
Does your vaccination work or doesn't it?
It just means that it's more likely that you would not get that disease.
So does it work or does it not work?
Yeah, a very high likelihood of you not getting it. Not just more.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea.
Yeah,
of
but
the
if everybody's vaccinated, then it's more likely that no one else is going to come with their child to give you the disease. But if one has it, you're still going to have to be separated.
My best friend, my best man at my wedding, when he heard that I wasn't vaccinated, he said, "Don't bring your child."
Yeah, but
don't bring her around. Doesn't make any sense
That's
to
what
me.
I'm saying. It doesn't make no sense. If your child is vaccinated, or if you are getting the flu jab, you are not expected to get the flu.
The point of vaccination
So why are you getting the flu jab then?
is to lessen the chance of getting it. Like just kind of like because
I'd like to know what the percentage is. Then.
If everyone has a vaccination for whatever it is, then the chance of it appearing is very slim because everybody's got the vaccination. It would almost like kind of have to fight very hard to find its way into society. But if somebody that hasn't been vaccinated does catch it and they come into contact with somebody that is vaccinated, the point of the vaccination now is almost like half of the job has been lost because half of the job of the vaccination is nobody should catch it in the first place. But somebody now has it,
Is
and now
that
they're close
really
to your
the job of vaccinations?
Yes,
bro?
yes.
I don't think so. You know?
Until something is eradicated. So like, which one of these ones has been eradicated? It's like it doesn't exist anymore.
No, it was almost non-existent. It's making its way back now.
Tuberculosis.
No, that's always been in India.
Not polio.
It was mumps.
No.
It was mumps or measles. One of them two.
There, man. Still enough people die from that every year.
No, but there was a point where
Maybe in this country.
there was a point where they'd all but gotten rid of it.
There are some things that vaccination has just that's it. Yeah, smallpox is gone. Yeah, and smallpox is gone because of vaccination. That's why it's gone. It doesn't exist anymore because it got to the point where everyone was vaccinated.
Oh, they think it don't exist.
Okay, fair enough. But to the point where all right, everyone's and it's just the disease had nowhere to go and it died. The last person that had it died, and that was the end of it.
Do you think that they can Do you think in the vaccinations that they can have an adverse effect on one race as opposed to another?
Goddamn 47.
Of course they can.
Potentially.
And do you think that they do that to have an effect on young black children and black babies?
Maybe.
Well, they did it 40, 50 years ago.
Yes.
On purpose. It's there documented.
But,
so what's to say that they ain't doing that now?
Are your children not vaccinated?
Both of them are, but if I have more, I'm quite sure that I'll go with Simple Simon and Stav.
So why are you all not vaccinating your children?
Partly because
Another
of that.
podcast, boy.
Why? Why is it so long that you can't just say?
Because it is long. Because it's something my wife and I discussed a lot
At length.
because it's not an easy decision to make
at all.
One of the things, in fact, what it came down to is like this MMR, measles, mumps, rubella. It's not that we're not going to get it. It's I'm going to do it privately, and we were just waiting until she was of an age first because
Exactly
they want to do it like straight away,
Immediately.
They're trying to give my wife before the baby's born.
Yep.
Yeah, and we refuse to have all that stuff. Now, God, thank you, mashallah, we have a beautiful, healthy child. Yeah, and. Long may that continue.
Mm-hmm.
Same with you, Simple, yeah, and the same with you, Mr. Wolf. Our children are healthy. May
They
may
had
that
them
continue.
separately. They didn't have them together.
What do you mean?
The MMR jab is a jab that is accumulated in one, and they give you that one or two injections. But we had them done separately.
So you had it done. Oh well, that's a long time ago.
Yeah,
Because
because
they don't.
he had the option there.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
children are older. Yeah, they don't do that now.
They don't allow that now.
They,
No,
not only do they not,
that's
not
a
only
massive
do they
thing.
not allow it.
It's-
Yeah,
wow.
it's not outlawed, but it's to the point where even though I'm willing to do it privately, pay whatever money they one of them, I can't remember which one is the measles, the mumps, or the rubella. It's like they just don't have anymore.
You have to do it in Europe now.
Yeah, you have to
Probably
go
go
because it's like they don't import it. We don't want people to do it that way, and I don't see like what's the big deal? Because if the government is willing to give it to you, NHS give it to you for free, and somebody wants to pay, why are you so adamant that no, you
There's a
cannot,
reason,
you
man.
cannot pay to do this?
You know my
That
conspiracy.
was the
counts,
one
man.
that stuck us as well, the measles, mumps, and rubella one, because we did a little bit of reading and found out that Germany refused the new one that England took because they said that it was too complicated, yeah, to give the dose all at once like that. So they do it separate in Germany.
They've linked it to is it autism?
Autism, yeah.
Yeah, this is because loads of doctors say no, and then some say yes. So you're stuck in the middle with some people saying yes, and you're the conspiracy theorist, and other people, I'm accredited doctor, and I've done it with my children. But you hear a lot of nurses, doctors, and I hear this all the time. I didn't do it to my children, and this is people that I'm discussed with personally when I'm in the doctor's thing. It's like, well, I didn't do it with my children.
What did they do
Nah,
instead?
my
Separate ones.
No, some of them is just. It's like you don't need it. It's almost like the point is that it's the chances of getting it is so low, and the potential of something happening, because it's not that nothing can happen. Stuff can happen, but the chances of something happening, even though it's slim, they look at it like the chances of you getting it is 1 out of 1,000,000, and the chances of something happening to you is 1 out of 1,000,000.
and if it does, they can medicate you.
So it's just like,
Like, you
maybe
can get treatment and medication. Like my niece, she's practicing nurse. She's getting close to exams and she's doing really well. And I've got family in the NHS and private sector, and they say if you have any more kids, don't do it. Then that's enough for me.
your family saying that.
Yeah, don't.
So your family in that work in the
Yes.
there you have it.
Okay, cool.
By the way, that's not advice that ESN's giving to people
Yes,
out here. We're
yes.
having a conversation between ourselves. Please,
Decide amongst
please,
yourselves.
if you do have to make this decision anytime soon, do your research, speak to professionals. This is not advice. This is just what we have done in our own lives.
That's now a rap lyric, isn't it?
What's that?
Do your research.
Well,
Do your research,
You
man.
need to, innit?
you need
Nah,
to,
for
man.
real.
Reading is fundamental.
One time. That's
There
one
it
of my
is.
lyrics, bro.
Right, we're going to wrap up now. I was your terrible host today. Simple Simon. At Simple At Simple Simon FB. I don't really have any plugs today. We missed a conversation that we could have spoken about. Dave Chappelle did a comedy show during the week. A secret one, in fact. As some of you may or may not know, he had been in the UK doing a tour with Jon Stewart. And he did a secret side show.
Okay, hold on. Because it wasn't him. It was Kojo that did it.
Look, Kojo thingy bobbed it, but apparently
It's Kojo's show.
yes, Kojo's show, but apparently Chappelle asked
Okay.
whether he could do it because the history is the venue that they did it in, the one that Kojo owns or runs, the venue that the show was
Does
done
he run
in.
that venue?
Yeah,
Is it Bethnal Green, innit?
I can't remember where it is.
Yeah, I think it's in Bethnal
But
Green.
the venue was the first venue that Dave Chappelle ever did in the UK.
Oh, okay.
When it came,
I actually remember. I think we were, if I'm not mistaken, I think we were recording season 1 when he came over the first time.
okay,
Because if it's that one in Bethnal Green, I can remember somebody saying, "Are they going?" or something like that.
okay.
So that would have been about 7-8 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, either way, it was his first debut show in the UK, and he said he liked the vibe and the energy of the venue and stuff. Wanted to recreate that, and also wanted to give something back to both UK black comedians and also the UK audience.
Big up Travis J.
So yes, so it was a secret location, secret show, limited tickets or what have you. Tickets were free as well.
God damn.
There was enough people that I know that went. I'm vexed I didn't
Is
get
it?
to go.
So 250 tickets were released. The whole dispatch was done by WhatsApp groups and WhatsApp messaging, what have you. So yeah, Dave Chappelle came down, done what Dave Chappelle does, but the standout comedian on this evening was Travis J. In fact, he's had a lot of positive review on his performance, and also Dave Chappelle was also said to have endorsed him heavily after his set.
Or he didn't come here and saying that he's the best in the UK.
Travis J, the former guest here, he's got his own podcast. Cool name for a podcast. Is it cool name?
Yeah, cool name
for
a
podcast. He remember when he was here a few weeks ago, and I asked him, like, I put him on the spot, just thinking that he was gonna, be diplomatic. Yeah, is anyone better than you? I can't remember the exact words up, but he said he is the best.
And let me tell you how deep it is. His mum's a comedian, so he's talking about his mum too. He's not even hiding that
2
shit.
generations deep. So anyway, on the bill was Travis J, Babatunde, Judy Love, Paul Chowdhury, and a few others that I didn't catch the names of. But apparently it's a really good show. And don't get me wrong, I'm not selling tickets or nothing like that. But
well, you can't.
Yeah, obviously. But I just wanted to give a massive shout out to Travis J. Obviously,
I went to Travis's show.
He's a friend of the podcast, and just wanted to give him a big shout out.
I went to his show when he did that one man show. It was alright, man. He was good. Yeah, he was good. He came on. He was on there for about an hour on his own. He was good, man. I'll give him props for that because not everybody can do that.
Yeah, for full hours deep.
It was at least an hour because I made sure I got my money's worth. Damn it.
So anyway, church notes.
At Big Wahala on Insta, at Big Wahala on Twitter. I want to big up this guy that's doing this thing I keep seeing online called Tune App.
Tune App? Yeah,
Tune App. So I think it's a young Nigerian boy. Actually, I messaged him the other day, actually. So what he's doing at the moment is that he's created an app, and Ashton Kutcher's actually just invested in this app.
Ashton Kutcher invested in every app.
Yeah, he was on stage. I think they did like a thing on stage, and he went and did his pitch on stage, and Ashton Kutcher, invested it. Let the boy have his share, but why you have to take it away from him?
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I'm just trying to joke.
He invested in every app. You can go show on TV. You put money into that too.
Ashton Kutcher is a
heavy investor.
He's a tech core,
He's a heavy investor. But yeah, he invested in this app as well. And the app is, I think, is for people to get online and show other people. Like basically a bit like if you had this app, I wouldn't have had this issue with Rick Ross, because what the app is there to do is to show people music and show you what's good or what you're listening to. So Stav's listening to this at the moment. Simple Simon's listening to that at the moment. Mr. Wolf is listening to the old nursery rhymes.
Oh, now my hashtag. Stav's currently listening
to. What's wrong with you, man? I'm saying I'm listening to them. You see the shade that these people just sending my way for no reason.
So then basically, I think it was meant to be released on his 30th birthday, which I think was last week, but it had technicalities, which we've all been there, we've seen this before. Bastard. So I think it's at beta at the moment. So I'm seeing a lot of people online, joining and
you say beta, not beta.
What does it matter?
Young man, 30. Well done, man.
So he's
pick up yourself.
He's got people out there online doing it now. There's a lot of the Twitter world. So what's the matter?
I just yawned, mate.
Why?
I don't know, because you probably said.
Well, if I
sing nursery rhymes in it.
So you're gonna stop me from trying to do something for a young black boy and support his team because you're petty enough to be a nerd about
yawned,
something?
Man, not because of that, man. It was just a yawn. Fuck it.
Okay. Right. Anyway, so salute him, and I said it's called Tune App. I think it's available for people to download for the beta trial. So just try it out and see how it goes. Am I okay now to finish, Mr. Wolf? Or you gonna yawn again?
No, I don't just do yawns randomly.
Mr. Wolf, church notes, please.
AKA Mr. Wolf, AKA _ Mr. Wolf, Insta, Twitter. Catch me there. I came from an event called Black Girl Fest, which was held in the Shoreditch Town Hall. Is it Shoreditch Town Hall? And it was fantastic. It was to large up and big up black women. There's quite a bit of male bashing in there, but so be it.
What? Seriously?
Yeah. Men are trash and all of this and what have you, but rock on with your bad self. But no, it was a good event. It's a pity that we didn't know about the event prior to this day, because I only found about it a couple of days
They
ago.
don't want you there, bruv. It's for the women, isn't
it? Do we not have women listeners?
Oh, okay. So you mean to pick it up? Okay, my mistake.
Yeah, so had we have known about it, then we would have told the listeners to go down and support the event. There was a lot of singers, performers, poets, and what have you, and a lot of lovely and beautiful women. So of all shapes and sizes.
Is this an annual event? A week, monthly? Annual.
So
okay.
I'll be back next year.
You'll be back
and
next
hopefully
year.
We'll know all about it, and maybe get the organisers down there to talk about it. Where it's bound.
Cool. Mr. Stavros.
Yeah, you can catch me at Stavros Boss everywhere. I forget it, man. My phone's taking too long. All right. Yeah, catch me at Stavros Specific.
All right, cool. So it's hashtag ESN Pod, at ESN Podcast everywhere on all the socials. You can catch us. If you want to send in an email, it's esnpodcast@gmail.com. I think that's about it. We good to go.
What's the matter with your phone, bro?
It's old. I just bought a new one today, so I get it.
They were doing that event, by the way, the Black Girl Fest in the social for sickle cell. So everybody's on this sickle cell thing, and they're trying to get people to sign up to register to give blood. So if you haven't done it, please do so. And what's this show called? Misty finishes on the 27th of November. People, go and watch the show, mate. You won't
Is
be
that
disappointed.
the music, the one, the bad boy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it done. Please, I need to watch that.
Go and watch the
Wife,
thing, man.
wife, please. Let's
27th of November it finishes. So I'll remind you guys next week.
I do have a Stavros Says.
Hit me.
All right. I was listening to another podcast. I can't remember the name of it. I want to pick it up. Something to do with pink. Anyways, I'll get it in a second. It was, but I found out from them that you can do sexual health tests, so STD tests, STI tests, and they send it to your home or your work address, and you take I guess, I don't know if it's blood or swab or something. I don't know what you do, but you put it back in the bag, you send it off, and they get your results. So if you feel don't feel comfortable going into a gum clinic to do this, but you feel maybe there's an issue that you just want to get checked, you're meeting a new partner, you're having sex with somebody new, and you want to prick them just before whilst they're sleeping, just to check them if they're not going to go and get checked. I don't know, but it's a way that you can do it without going there. If that is an issue for you, I'm sure most people are quite comfortable going into clinics and getting checked. But if you're not, you should still be getting checked if you're sexually active. And if you go to www.shl.uk, that's Sierra Hotel Lima.uk, you can go there and find out about the stuff that you need to do. So that's my Stavros Says this week.
Imagine getting that sent to your workplace, boy.
But obviously, it's not going to be. It's going to be in a package that is So that's the thing.
Sweet. Well, the dance done. And as I'd like to say,
if you ain't saying nothing, say it well, baby.
Slag for life. So you're hosting next week. Yeah, it's your turn. It's your turn.
So you got lucky because you got
time to prepare. That's right. You're not.
Get the check down.
Yeah, I think that's. Maybe when I start.
Would you be able to join us on Sunday, the 11th of November? 5 o'clock, David.